Hit the blue button already. So we were just behind the scenes. I know Green Rocks was talking about he cannot wait for next year's trend to be ball nipples. He wants balls attached to people. He wants testicle nipples.
To free the testicle nipples.
It's called test
Stream
nipples.
is now instantly demonetized.
Like we're ever monetized on these streams.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo!
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Back for another episode of the Midweek Hump. It's Wednesday. It's hump day.
Thursday.
No, it's
Shut up,
Wednesday.
nobody
Grant.
Shut up. Shut up.
Nobody cares what day it is in New Jersey. Be quiet.
Yeah.
You're getting all this hate. My God, I can't believe just because I walk around with a hashtag free Palpatine T-shirt. This is how you're gonna treat me.
Look, all I'm saying is I'm rooting for the emus at this point.
All
Okay, I'm actually
saying
sitting like 10% of my
the
income.
Stormtroopers were right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the show, everyone. Have a great night now. Welcome back. It's always a pleasure being here Wednesday. This week has been fucking crazy busy for me, and I barely sat down. I played a little video games this afternoon, but other than that, I've just been going between home, work, gym. But so it feels good to be sitting down with friends every Wednesday. So what has everyone been up to? Our guest tonight, just so everyone knows, our guest tonight is currently doing his show, but when he finishes up, he's going to head over here. So don't worry, Hypnotic is going to come. Probably get a little bump from people when they come over. But
hey man, nobody agreed to any bumps in the contract. I'm just saying.
I'm all about the bumps. Come on, let's
I
fucking
take
do
2
this.
bumps before we start. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, man.
I as well like tits.
What's that?
I said I as well like tits.
Bob's in the chat.
Yeah. Well, so what's going on, everybody? Chat, it's good. Jesus, how's it going? In the chat, we got it's Courtney, Fellowship of Oddballs. First one, I think you were. Good to see you. Flatus Asphere, Flatus Asphere,
Aspire.
I think flat
Flat ass
ass.
fire. Jags, you know all about that, man. Right after you had Taco Bell.
Hell yeah.
Gladius Aspire.
Gem Bones over on Rumble. What's going on? It's good to see people are chilling on Rumble still. I don't hate Rumble. I like when people are over there and supporting on that platform. So thank you for doing that over there. And then what else we got? Who's here? Tim Stock. Yo, what's going on, Tim? And
Tim
Devastator's here. One of our most loyal viewers, of course. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Another week. Another bunch of craziness happening out in the Twitter sphere in the world. And Common Nerd. Jesse, what's going on, man? How you been?
Dude, I'm doing good. This week's definitely a whole lot better than last week, that's for sure. Seems to be going in a better direction. But yeah, no, I've had a fairly decent last few days. Been on a today was technically the 4th day of my 3-day fast that I started Sunday morning, so that was pretty cool. So asked for a little favor from upstairs, and the response I got was fast for 3 days, and I went, okay. So I've been fast. So I finally got some food in me this evening, and it was really great because I didn't pick what it was, but it turned out it was the Lord's Chicken. We had Chick-fil-A for dinner, so that was awesome.
Lord's Chicken.
The Lord's Chicken, yeah, the Lord's Chicken. They're closed on Sundays because your ass better go to church. Otherwise, you're not going to eat this sweet, tasty chicken. But yeah, no, my mom came in town Monday night, so we hung out all day at the beach yesterday with her. me and the kids. So that was a really great time. Probably going to be doing more of that tomorrow. But I got really good news this morning. Yesterday, before I had my regular stream, I found out that my monetization requirements as far as AdSense had gotten met on my new Common Nerds channel, which just crossed 500. I think it's at 523 subscribers now. Thank you.
Nice, dude.
So I hit my little application button yesterday, and it came back, because I've done this before. Obviously, this is my second time getting monetized, and the last time it was like, oh, it'll be like up to 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks or so. You should hear something back from. This time it was like, oh, you should hear something back within at least a month. I was like,
wow,
really? Well, it turns out this morning I came out here to do my live streams, get all my stuff set up this morning, and refresh my page, and boom, yay, your acceptance into the partner program is officially approved. So they literally approved me in less than 24 hours. So we are officially monetized, back on the new YouTube channel, very, as of this week. And we're going to get all the memberships and all that kind of stuff set back up probably throughout the weekend. And because my birthday is next Thursday, May 16th, we're going to do our official kickoff inaugural live stream on that channel, because we've never live streamed on that channel. But now that we're monetized, we're going to live stream over there. And that'll be for my birthday stream / very first celebratory live stream for getting monetized over there. So shout out to all my friends, family, and followers over there who helped grow that channel, because I couldn't have done it without you. So yeah, I've been having a good week so far. Let's hopefully the rest of the week goes just as well. We'll see how it
nice,
goes.
dude. And sick fucking shirt. I love that. G.I. Joe says, "Let's go, Brandon."
Let's go, Brandon.
I love it, dude. No green rocks. What have you been up to, man? You been busy or what?
Of course, you're gonna put me to follow up on that. Okay, well,
yeah, bitch, you're the next one in line across the top.
Well, yeah, I've been having a very busy week. Grant knows for sure. I just finished up the Friday Night Tights vlog I did. It's about 22 minutes long. Should be out for the public on Friday. And for members on the Legion of Memers channel, it's already available. So if you are a member, feel free to go check it out. Leave a like, comment, and all that jazz. I also have it on Rumble, but we all know Rumble and exposure rates are not happy. Yeah. So I will still give it a shot, because I'm willing to try and see how it works. Trying to support where I can, but if things don't get better, I'll just continue just posting to YouTube and censor myself, unfortunately. But other than that, just working on editing and trying to kick some more ass by learning things. A big shout out to Grant, because I sent him a rough draft and he helped me out with the audio, and I learned something new, which is great, especially after you've been learning for a while. Learning something new in the subject that you know really well, it like reinvigorates you a little bit.
Hell yeah. That
We
happened to
can
me at work
teach
this week.
an old chimp new trick, so lucky that.
That kind of stuff happens to me at work sometimes. And it happened this week, because I don't know much about like stucco, and like there was some issue going on, and we've been redoing this house for these people, and my brother-in-law does stucco, and I traveled around with him for like 3 months while I couldn't drive. And so we were at this place, and they're like, "Oh, something's going on. Like there's water, blah, blah, blah." So I went over there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's boom, 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 boom." And I talked to my brother-in-law. He's like, "Oh yeah, it was totally that. We went over there, $1,000 to fix it." And I was like, "Sweet. I'm so glad I got that all right." It just felt good. Like, okay, I know what I'm doing. Like, all right, sweet. Because sometimes I'll half bullshit through something and like be specific enough.
We've seen your show.
What's that?
We've
seen your show.
We stream with you we stream with you every week. We know this.
Dang. All right.
Yeah, you walk into
Welcome
that
to
like
the Roast
stucco
to
wall.
Shags episode.
I
Jesus
did, man.
Christ. This is
Anywho,
Netflix.
Grant, how are you doing, sir? Good to see you.
No, go to shape. We ain't having the black guy go last.
Oh, speaking of which, Mr. Grant Gregory, for 11 months, come back. Says, wow, Jesse has two channel monetized, and I don't have one. Congrats. I'm so happy for you. You son of a, you motherfucker, you piece of shit. I mean, my mate.
First off, Grant, you do have one channel monetized. Your Rumble's monetized, because everybody on Rumble's monetized from day one. So this is only my second channel getting monetized. So I'm only one ahead of you, Mr. Grant Gregory.
Nah.
I mean, I do have 4 other channels that are monetized, but I don't talk about those.
Oh, so not only is he full of shit, but he's a liar.
Well, no, if you, I'm talking about YouTube. If you're talking about Rumble, then there, I've got 4.
Yeah, see, there you go then. See,
You have 4 Rumble channels?
I've only got one YouTube channel monetized.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's because you really enjoyed the banana eating and the power of potassium, but YouTube doesn't like that. You promoted too much healthy eating in the back of your videos, and they went, nope, we can't have this.
Well, and clearly YouTube is homophobic.
I think, Jesse, you need to do a naked yoga stream as a celebration.
Yeah, Jesse's one thing. He said, "What's in my butt stream?" Because that's not going to be demonetized.
That's a perfectly okay game that you can play on YouTube, and you just have to put it before it for educational purposes only.
You can play it on YouTube, but apparently you do it on the bus with your friends and you get kicked off. It's ridiculous.
The double standard is just ridiculous.
That's why you sit in the back, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, it wasn't my pal was driving, so.
Oh my god. This show never ceases to amaze me. I love it because I can be the most disgusting, degenerate human being that I want to be.
I'm still not as good as I am.
And not feel
Keep that shit off the internet.
No, come on now. I think it's best that we cleanse the world with a little debauchery, like some good debauchery, because there's
what the fuck that mean?
I don't know. I'm just saying shit because it might sound good. I don't know.
Stop.
He's just kind of throwing shit against the wall, hoping something fucking sticks, and it's desperately failing miserably.
It won't,
That's
because
how the show goes.
he does stucco walls, and they're full of wax, so it makes it slippery. So
That's what I do every day. Like
That's
YouTube,
right.
I just throw shit at the wall. I'm hoping something catches. I think that's just what you do, right? Everyone's just throwing shit at the wall.
It's what do they say? Educated guessing,
right?
Yeah.
Has you been? I mean, we've all been on long enough to know certain things, and what to
Find the
do,
future,
what not
Jim.
really to do. We're still figuring it out. But it may be throwing shit at the wall, but it comes with a lot of experience behind it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's
throw
a lot of
fastballs, shits at the wall, like some curveballs. Like I could bend that shit,
Like
and put that shit
when
anywhere I
he
want.
throws that shit ball, the shit just flies everywhere like a corkscrew. It's nuts.
I prefer like the shotgun pattern. I just try to blast everything at once and just hope I hit something, and a lot of the time it works out. So
The Kurt Cobain method, nice.
His music, YouTube, his music somewhere.
Yeah, it's good music. Yeah. Just blast the wall with it.
I'm not talking about his last argument with Courtney Love.
So Courtney Love should be in prison. Yeah.
Sheep, what have you been up to, man? You been busy? Been busy at the Rippaverse or what?
Of course. Oh, also, there is a link in the private chat. Go ahead and pull that up real quickly for those of you that are going to be going to Denver. I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and go to this tweet specifically and vote on whether you like color black or purple.
Well, I don't know.
That's
I feel
kinda-
like
that's
I made
kinda
shit.
racist.
I mean, either way, it's
I don't
not
care.
racist.
Pull it up.
It's both black and purple.
Pull up the link. Damn it! There we go.
I'm down.
I'm so black I am purple.
Look at them! Look at them! Look at them! Fancy ass shirts. Look at them
Both
things.
of them are pretty fucking awesome, I will say.
Look at them
Well,
things.
if I go to Denver, am I going to get one?
You can get one.
You'll be able
We
to
have
buy
them.
one. In Denver.
You could buy one probably.
Either way, we got these fire ass fucking shirts that are gonna be that we're cooking up. The funny thing about these shirts, Eric didn't know they were being done. he found out today.
My company is
fucking
taking a life of
great.
its own. Brainiac, get out of here.
Who's the artist? Is that Igor?
That's Igor.
Yeah.
How does he have time to do that with just having a kid and everything? That's crazy.
Igor is. Have you seen that mane attached to his head?
Yep.
He's some level of magic. He just makes shit happen.
I guarantee
So,
you he saw
this might
like
be a weird
baby
question.
urine stain and got inspired.
So Sheep, is that you in the middle or Isom?
That is Brandon actually.
Oh,
So
okay,
yeah,
I can't
nice.
tell.
Oh, I
Wait,
thought you
I
were-
want sheep on my shirt. I don't. If
Yeah,
sheep's
yeah.
on the shirt, I don't want it.
Get the shirt. Just get the shirt. It doesn't matter. I'll be there. I'll autograph it if you want me to. I'll sign. This is like one of those few times I'll sign nipples. Go ahead and get the shirt.
right
I'm gonna
over
say
his
purple.
head though.
It's literally 50-50. There's 152 votes, and it's literally dead even at the moment.
Yeah.
On the poll. That's crazy.
I have 50.7.
Oh, yeah. It
49.
literally just changed then.
0.3.
There you go. So it's leaning more toward the black shirt. I personally
mine says 50-50. I voted purple.
Team purple.
Then how are we losing then?
I don't know.
Dude, I think purple looks sick, dude.
I like them both.
Yeah,
like
yeah, they both look good. I love
decide.
black on shirts, but
Yeah,
this
I prefer
purple,
black too, but
I'd be gay for that shirt for sure. I'd
I
represent
would
the trans
no
what do
community.
you
on
mean
it.
you'd be gay for the shirt?
No, I mean like
So he would have sex with a man as the payment. He would take a shirt.
We'll see about
That
the
makes
next
sense.
iteration about getting me on the shirt.
yes, yeah. Tell Igor to get with it.
Sheep, I wanted to ask you, since they are doing the expo, are they gonna have any like get-togethers?
You mean like during the weekend? Like, are we gonna be doing?
Yeah, like after the con or something. Is there a place with, like people
there a
meet up
meetup?
or whatever?
Probably. I can't guarantee anything, but except for while the doors are open, you can see everybody there. You meet up with Mike Barron, Eric, Saskas, and whatnot. But outside of it, probably. That's the best I can tell you.
Oh man.
That aside, right? That aside, go ahead and get your stuff for Yaira. We got some new shipping prices for international shipping for UK, Canada, and Australia. So we got some nice things cooking up, and we still got other shit to announce. So
Such
go ahead
as
and get your orders in, huh? Such as stuff that you'll find out about later. Go ahead and get your orders in. Fulfillment should be starting soon, and then right after Yaira's campaign closes, we start up gooding.
Sheep,
So
you
that
should
good
put a
Mike
fake
Barron.
NDA in each box, and that way, when you say NDA as like the item,
Right.
they are technically getting an NDA.
Yeah. It technically what it is redacted, and also the redacted.
What about the extra large redacted?
That too.
The
Okay.
biggest redacted, like a huge redacted.
Life-size Isom statue on its way, guys. You heard it here first.
Yeah, it's going to be done by Andy Masterson. Go ahead and get your orders and stuff in. The campaign will be closing in a few weeks, so you got time, but not too much. That aside,
I'll do it later.
There you
I've
go.
got time.
That aside, I've been drawing pictures and playing a little video games and building, helping build bookshelves and stuff like that. I was going to say something that was going to sound really weird, so I'm just going to not say it. What were you saying, Greg?
No, say the weird
No, I was going to
thing.
say I really want to know what else you were going to say. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I am.
Listen, Sheep, as the community manager, you need to start getting some Ripaverse events going around, not just at some of these big events. We got to
Shut up, man. I'm just happy it's in Denver. Not in the fucking other
here
fucking
I am trying
Florida
to help the
or some
community.
shit, dude. It's at least closer to you than the other places.
Yeah, the next
I don't know.
closest.
It still seems pretty far for me.
Shut up, you. I think the next closest place to us would have been like Missoula. So, or that's as close as you could possibly get to us before we're like, we got to take a trip to Denver.
No, Shags actually wants you to post right outside his front door.
Not gonna happen.
Would be closer
No, I want to see. I just want to hopefully start seeing more even if they're smaller events, even if it's just specifically Ripaverse, it would be great to see that and not just necessarily tied to a convention or maybe something smaller. I don't know. I mean, there's the possibilities are endless, and it was just a little jab at Sheep as a community manager anyway. So
no, I get you, but it's not like that's something we haven't talked about, but it's more of like the logistics of making that stuff work.
Yep.
We need a
party.
Rock's just shitting all over Shagsworth joke and his fucking roast.
I know, man. The
fuck.
God damn.
It was
a
joke
roast.
and a
He
roast.
can get his own joke out. Jesus.
Fucking A. And and for me, what I've been up to, go check out my interview with Brahma Bull and Gary from last week. They're fucking dope. They're awesome. Gary and I had a great conversation about some ancient Ancient Civilizations. Just had fun rapping about cool stuff. And the
Rapping.
man of the hour is here.
Hey.
What's up?
Hypnotic.
I'm clapping. You can hear me clapping.
Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
Don't
I thought it was something
apologize,
else.
sir.
It's
You're
okay.
fine.
It's the midweek hump. It's not like we start on time anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
What did I
also,
miss?
we just got done with the introductions,
Yeah,
but
we just-
also
We haven't finished introductions yet, but yeah.
congratulations to Hypnotic. Over 10 million views on his channel. Like, crushed that number.
Dude.
Bro,
My
I was
man.
sitting there
Awesome.
looking at that tweet in fucking disbelief. I was like, holy shit. That is incredible, dude.
That's fucking
I didn't even
awesome.
realize I was getting close to it until I saw the notification in my studio,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
Oh, that's cool. But anyway, let me go live stream real quick.
Bro, that was my reaction. Like, because I don't advertise my shit as well as I should. But like I'm looking at my Twitter followers, I'm like, oh, I passed 2,000. They just went right back to work. Like,
That's the
I
thing, man,
appreciate it, guys.
when you do this stuff so much, like as often, it starts to get a little desensitizing. So like, you know, I remember being super excited about the first 10K views, and then the first 100K, and then when I hit 1 million, I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then I think the next notification is 2 million, 3 million. I think it's every single. And after a while, it just gets to the point where it's like, nice, and you just keep doing what you're doing. You know,
Cool.
it's kind of
Wait,
sad, but it's true, man. It's like,
Wait until you hit over
Nice.
100 million, and you're like, that's awesome. Then you're like, oh,
yeah,
you
let me
know
upload another 3 videos. You know,
Yeah.
it's just,
Right.
I don't know.
He's
What's
gonna have
how it
100
is.
million views? That seems insane.
dude,
like,
I hit it twice. Remember, I deleted 83 million of my views, and then
Wow.
I got back and hit 100
And he
again.
streamed it. He
And I
streamed
streamed
it.
it.
on
He
that
did it.
day.
Well, think
that's
about like what 100 million views means to some people and how their entire channels can get to that point. And then remember, like, there's some videos out there that have over 100 million views by itself. You know,
Yeah.
it just makes the
Yeah.
numbers seem insane. You know,
These bastards. I've only got a
Yeah,
shitty
man.
55 million.
Well, and
Yeah.
just think about the fact too that like YouTube still isn't in like it's still like it's mostly Western civilization that has access to it all the time. Imagine as technology spreads farther, it's like the whole like this. Casey Neistat, right, used to be like the fucking king dingaling of like vlogging and stuff like that. He was
He's
like the
very
OG
good
guy
at
that did
yeah.
it. Right, he was very good at it. He also had the equipment to be very good at it as well.
That's true.
But the other thing about it was like it was like 3 or 4 years ago. The guy was like, you know, there's really no point in starting a YouTube channel anymore. There's no really way to grow. There's no, you know, you're not going to do it anymore. It's like there's just everything's kind of hit a cap on YouTube and it's not going to go anywhere any farther. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, that is the most arrogant, like asshole opinion to ever have because the platform's grown like 3 times its size just in the last few years. Like that's just
Yeah, but he stopped
obtuse.
becoming relevant. That was the problem.
yeah.
People get angry.
he's speaking
and mad.
from his own point of view too. You know, and you got to remember too, Casey Neistat, he heavily slowed down. Like if his growth stopped, it was because of him. You know, and
Yep.
and also you got to keep in mind too, he grew at a time where vlogs that was the thing to watch on YouTube. You know, like that was the content back then. It still
I
is
say
now
these.
for certain. You know, I guess I don't know what to call them, but like certain content, it definitely is top tier. Like family vlogs are huge. I know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Casey Neistat's his style of vlogs. He used to be the only one that was doing it, right? Like the
Well,
highly edited, super.
He had a great editor.
professional.
That
Yeah,
was the
Yeah.
thing. His editor was phenomenal, and the guy that he learned how to do all the stuff on camera taught him because he made sure everything was symmetrical. He used the rule of 9 very well, but that was only because he happened to run into a guy that saw him in a line and said, "You need to fix this for your videos," and then before you knew it, he blew up.
Yeah.
because no one was doing it. But
Nice.
then he went
That's
political.
why I recommend always talking to other creators when you can. You never know what kind of information they'll pass on to you that you didn't know yesterday.
Well, if you can't watch that,
crossfades.
or you can't talk to them, like I was talking to Gary about this, like watch other creators, like is one of the more like important things you can do, because most people, like a lot of times you can't talk to, especially the big ones, but if you watch enough of what they're doing, especially the ones that you're trying to emulate in some way, you'll pick up like the things that they do well that maybe you don't do well. And and that's kind of how I approach it a lot of times. I'll just put something on the background of people that I like kind of going for, like this is going to sound stupid, and you guys can meme me and poke fun of me all you want, but I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan because I want to do a lot of one-on-one
Yeah, I bet you do.
podcasting. But I also listen to other people too, obviously. But
Is that why you say the N-word so much?
Yeah, exactly.
Something N-word ayahuasca.
But yeah, I mean, I just think, I mean, you got to look at those and look at other people and what they're doing, and kind of see what works, what doesn't, and then things that you're capable of or not capable of.
Yeah,
I do think there is a small bit of truth to, like, I mean, there's an oversaturation on YouTube to an extent where, like, it can be difficult to grow in ways that it wasn't, like, it was easier back then. It might be a little bit more difficult in some niches, but it's certain, like, there's still so many people popping up on YouTube.
But it is possible. I mean, look at Hypnotic, dude.
We're looking at it through a retrospective lens. That's the problem. It was harder to grow back then. There was less people, less eyeballs on it. The algorithm didn't have trends in mind. The difference is because we know what works now. To say it was way harder to do it back then. Now overnight you can have a channel that has no subs and put out one video and then have 100 million views on that video.
You could
do that.
It is possible. Most likely not going to happen, but it definitely is possible.
Well, most of the channels that hit the million sub mark, I think it was like 82% of them are channels that are less than a year old.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow,
nice.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's great. Like now, if you want to do a YouTube channel, now's the time to do it because they're trying to push new people consistently.
Yeah.
Well, they also say there's people say there's an oversaturation. I just feel like there's an oversaturation of bad content.
Yeah,
you know, like
exactly.
that's like a lot of the saturation comes from people, you know, because it's easy to start off a YouTube channel. Anybody could do it. That's the draw to it, right? And a lot of people do it. They start it up, and eventually, what ends up happening is, you know, most people don't know how to be their own biggest fan until someone else is your biggest fan. Mm-hmm. So, and that's kind of like what you have to do when you're starting off on YouTube. You know, I streamed to like 5 viewers once. I remember that. Like, I remember doing videos and getting 10 views. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember that. But I just kept telling myself, just do it. Never miss a day. I don't think I did. And eventually it happens, you know, and consistency is the key. And that's where a lot of people fail. So unfortunately, there's a lot more accounts being made than there are accounts succeeding. That's what you really got to break through. Once you break through that initial standard of like, okay, you're kind of in the mix of all the initial created accounts. Once you break past that, which I think for most people is probably 10K subs, once you break past that, you kind of then start to create your own thing. And then, you know, if you keep going, usually good things will happen.
Yeah,
it's very true. I mean, it is a grind too, and I think that's what so many people forget when they try to start a YouTube channel is they think they're going to be that overnight success. Everybody thinks they're going to be an overnight. Well, not everybody. Some of us are smart enough to know that that's a fucking dumb thing to think about.
Yeah.
But like a lot of these people get into it thinking they're going to be some overnight success, and then don't have the drive to stick with it when they don't have the, you know, when it doesn't happen in a week or a month, or, you know, where some of us have been at, you know, some of us like you and me, Hypnotic, we've been at it for years now. You know, and just going at it every day and keep pushing back at it and everything else. And yeah, I'm just super blown away by everybody's success and how well everybody's doing. But you guys everybody puts in the work. You know, it takes the effort to do that. So yeah, I love it.
There is hold on real quick. Kendon B came back with 5 months membership. I do want to say thank you. Said you that Mercante doesn't well, hold on.
You hear?
Holy shit!
I think he meant to say you hear that.
Oh,
yeah, you hear that.
You hear that?
Oh,
Mercante doesn't have Kotaku listed in her bio. Emo's still there, but not nowhere else. Might be gone, but I don't know. Look up Smash JT's post.
That would be funny as hell. If
I just talked about that on my stream. Yeah, apparently, senior editor at Kotaku's gone. Now she's senior editor at Byline. I don't know. I forgot already. But
going by.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I don't know enough about it to say whether it's true or not. But I looked up the website. It's like a political-based news organization, so I wouldn't be surprised considering her love for activism.
Yeah, I was about to say radical left. Gotcha.
Yeah, I was trying to put it, you know, in a more rounded way. But yeah, you're right. So yeah, I would not be surprised if that's the case. But like I said, it's too soon, and she could be, you know, this is the kind of person who will troll you to the end of time. She could be trolling. She could have deleted it just to get people talking about her, especially since she still has the email in her bio. She might be stupid enough to leave that up. You never know.
She seems like she would be not. She doesn't seem like a very bright person, like from what I've seen. So.
Oh, but I think she is.
Yeah, I was about to say I wouldn't even take that kind of credit from her because like there have been multiple times that I just see her pop up just because she did something, and I'm like, well, it looks like she's keeping herself in the eye of the public. So whatever she's doing, she's doing it correctly.
Yeah, I think she's a very manipulative person. Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. No, I was just gonna say that's like the game though. It's like don't be serious about anything. Just like be inflammatory and be kind of a dumbass. Like, yeah, she might be bright, but she's like knowing how to play the game to stay relevant. Whatever that even means. For Twitter. And real quick, I did want to say thank you, Levistro, for re-upping your membership. He said, I can't believe I let my membership slip. Hey man, no worries. You know, people be members and super chat when you can. You do not need to do
absolute worries. What were you broke or something?
Guilt trip $5 always.
Exactly.
Always
$5 a month.
Motherfucker.
Don't ever let Levistro slide. You have my permission. Guilt trip him to the end of time.
I see Levistro everywhere, and he's been in my streams before. He's a real one. I like Levistro a lot, so I give him shit. Thanks, man.
Good. Keep doing
that. No, good to see your people coming over. Appreciate you shouting us out and sending people our way. But how you been though, dude? Like for real, your channel is like flying right now. I know you're busy. Are you experiencing like do you ever experience any burnout, or like are you just like it's just autopilot at this point? Are you going?
It's autopilot. Like I don't really get. No, man, because like I don't know. Like in my like I told Gooch this when he interviewed me on his channel, and he asked me the same question. I'm like, it's really not burnout, man, because I think of it from a overarching standpoint, right? I think of it like I have done so much other things for so much less, right? Like I've done so many other jobs when I was younger for so much less money, for so much more time. Like I don't know if you want to call it thankful. I don't know if you want to call it appreciative. Maybe there's a word in there for it. Mm-hmm. But I think what it is like for me, especially now that thankfully I'm in a place where I'm able to hire my own editor. Yeah. It has really gotten to the point where it's just a machine, right? Like right now, I film my 3 videos prior to the stream. I spend a couple of hours a day prepping for the stream, getting stories, getting involved and everything like that. I stream for 2 hours a day. Really, I'm working like 4 or 5 hours a day. You know what I mean? Maybe 6. Because I don't count like being on Twitter and trolling the internet as like, work, even though like it technically could be if you really want to think about it. Yeah. But it's not. So I'm just thankful, man. Like I come from a, working like 12, 14-hour days, 6 days a week, not including travel. Like that's just like what I'm used to. So for me, this is, it's a grind. Don't get me wrong, but it's a grind that I'm thankful to have. And, I appreciate it. So it's very easy for me to keep up. I'm not trying to like downplay it. Don't get me wrong. It's hard, but like, it's something that I've gotten down to a science. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't always like this in the beginning. I was always consistent, but I would dabble between 1 video a day, 2 video a day, 3 video a day, and when I was working full time, I was doing less videos, but I did that so that I could stay consistent, so that I didn't miss a day. I could have did 3 videos, but I probably would have burned out at some point. So now where I'm at, no, I don't burn out. It's just a machine.
Well, now you got, I love your manga stuff that you were putting up. So like that, you have another thing you work on. How's that? I don't mean for this to be an interview, but just asking a question.
Look, I'm all about talk about manga. As we all know, I'm working on my own by myself. I'm killing myself in the process. But how's that going for you, man? Yeah. Talk about you.
It's going good. The manga channel, unfortunately, I can't dedicate the amount of time I would like to, just because the main channel takes precedence. But what I do with the manga channel is I try to do shorts. That way I can kind of get more content out there easier, instead of trying to do a main video every day, because I know I'm just not going to be able to do it on that channel, unfortunately. So I try to do a short every day just to get something out there. Surprisingly, they work fairly well. But you guys know, like, shorts aren't the same as main videos. They don't really like hold the same audience, so to speak.
I can vouch for that.
Do they not count? I don't think they count the same way that videos do either.
It does, but like it's not. You need way more of it. So like to get monetized on that channel, you would need 4,000 hours of watch time on main videos, or you would need like 3 million, I think, or something like that on shorts.
You need 3 million shorts every 90 days to
maintain.
God damn.
It's totally different. But the good thing about that is that that kind of content with the manga stuff allows me to stay active on TikTok and Instagram. So I just kind of triple dip on that. So for one video, I get 3 platforms. So I find that to be a win. But honestly, like my clips channel is doing a lot better. I don't know why that channel is doing so well, but it is. I just started that a clips channel for my streams, and that thing is it passed my manga channel already in like 2 weeks.
Are you just like throwing clips up there and not really promoting it, and people are just catching on from algorithm?
Yeah, the only promotion it gets is in my Discord. It's auto post. That's basically it. Like I literally, I got that channel down to 2 videos a day. That's what I'm paying for right now. So 2 videos a day, 7 days a week, and my editor just goes in after the stream, clips them, and throws it up there, and I just uploaded everything.
That's sick, man. I'm proud of you, man. Like seeing where you were and now what like you like this, we'll call it a meteoric rise, because you're doing it, man. Like it's great. It's great to see good people succeed and love what they do, and you could see the passion, your hard work, the quality, like it's all there. So like, and your community is fucking awesome. Like they're good people.
They're wild,
every time. Yeah. So and real quick too, Future Boy came through with 5 gifted Shagsworth memberships.
Nice.
Appreciate you, brother. Awesome, dude. Future Boy's been hanging around too. I think you've sent him over here before, and he stuck around. So good crossover.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah,
much better than Past Boy. He's always looking forward.
Present Boy.
Yeah, right.
He's always just like there,
always looking ahead. But in terms of just like to answer your question really quick, in terms of the manga stuff, yeah, it's doing well. I mean, people seem to like the collection. I mean, it's fairly obnoxious at this point. Like I'm redoing my studio right now, trying to get more space so I can get more books. Because
Nice.
I set out a goal to try to pass 2,000 books before the end of the year.
Damn.
Good grief.
I'm at I think 1,100 right now, so I'm trying to.
And you've read every single one?
No, I'm trying.
Come on.
Don't get it. I'm trying, but no, it's a lot.
Manga,
manga
collection. Oh, you go. I was about to say, just make a joke saying having a manga collection is much like a Steam account. You got a whole bunch of shit that you forgot you had.
Your backlog.
Now, what level do you become a sage? That's my question.
You die first. You die first. That's what.
That's die immersion. That's how it happens.
Yeah.
No.
I definitely try to read as much as I can. Obviously, I'm reading The Promised Neverland right now. That one's got me hooked pretty good. And what I'll do is I'll read a series, and then after I read a series, I'll do some singles, and then after the singles, I'll jump into another series because I don't want to do series after series too much.
Yeah. It gets tired.
Yeah. So I just finished getting rid of. I just read Bleach in like 2 weeks. I got 74 books in 2 weeks.
That's a lot of fucking reading.
Yeah, I try to read like 3 a day.
I'll
read usually. What was that?
3 a day?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mainly just look at the pictures and just make the story up in my head.
Yeah, 3 a day. No, I do. I read 3 a day. Normally what I do is I'll read one during the day, early on when I have a little downtime, and then at night after my stream. Normally when I'm hanging out with the guys in Discord, I'll read 2, sometimes 3 if I'm fast enough. But
well, the benefit to Bleach is that Kubo is so much of an art whore that his panels are super huge. So you can kind of fly through a book really quick.
Yeah. The text is very easy to go through. Like it's not like Death Note, right? If you're trying to speed read Death Note, I mean, there's you
gotta hurt yourself.
There's so many inner monologues. It's impossible. Like they'll showcase Light going, like he'll take one step and their whole inner monologue for 5 pages, and then take another step, and then inner monologue for like another 3 pages. That's how Death Note is. So you're not speed reading that, but
Death Note is definitely one of those series where like it's not even so much of you try if you try to speed read, you're gonna fuck yourself up because you're gonna have to go back and remember. Like you're basically he's gonna bring up some shit that happened in like chapter 4 and you're in like volume like 9.
Yeah. And then I think he's the mangaka that kind of insults you about it too. I don't remember, is that or it's probably My Hero, where he'll bring up what happened in 3 books prior and then assume you forgot and then put it in the panel like somewhere like very tiny.
That's
showcasing
that's those guys. I forgot their name.
It's also
Sugumi Yoba.
Yeah.
Kyoku Siri or Inspector is another one that's extremely wordy. There's it's basically one little picture and then it's like a novel above it. It's ridiculous. You can read that one, yeah. It's a novel with a few pictures. Yeah.
Well, I think
no one's read a book. They're all still doing it. That's how wordy it is.
Oh wow. Well, after Promised Neverland, it's that book, that series is a good like middle ground. Like it's not too wordy, but it's not really super actiony right now, but it's really good. I don't know if you guys ever read that or whatever, but
I watched some of the anime.
That series took me by surprise.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's why I'm so hooked, because I went into it thinking it was going to be some sort of like Peter Pan RPG adventure. And I'm like, this is going to be great. Dark. I can't wait for this wholesome story. Look at all these happy kids on the cover of the book.
The two worlds against each other.
It's like, oh wait, there's demons eating kids. That's not what I expected.
Awesome,
yeah.
Oh, dude, no. Listen, the first episode, like if you're watching the anime, at least if you want to get hooked, watch the first episode. The first episode will make you go, all right, I gotta see what happens.
I couldn't believe it. I was completely like floored, and I think that's why I like it so much, because I had my guard down. I really thought I was gonna read like a wholesome adventure story, and instead I got some like, hey, we're farming kids for food kind of story, and I'm like, oh, cool. This is not what I expected, but I'm reading it. So
now I'm hungry.
Lovely.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
I got a question for you. Do you actually own that jacket that your avatar has?
No, I wish.
Dude,
I'm trying to get it.
Bro.
I'm trying to get it made. It's just difficult, but I want to definitely get it done.
I know people, but I have to remind myself to let them know that I kind of want a jacket done for my guy. I know people that are probably listening. Hold on.
I know people, but I don't speak Chinese to be able to get the sweatshop to do it.
It's this jacket here.
I would love to get this made as a hoodie. Oh, that jacket? That's nice.
Yep.
Yep. The collar's kind of like the cincher, because it's kind of like a pop collar, but it's not like a full collar. So it takes some some work to get it to hold. Nonetheless, I want to get this made. I'll talk about it with some people.
Yeah, Hypnotic, yours would be sick to get that custom made and like show up to
I like that hood.
to conventions and shit. That would be so dope.
Yeah. Hood, that's kind of.
I mean, it's literally just like a massive target on
both?
the back. Yeah.
Is there braces on both arms or just the one?
It's just one.
Just one. Okay.
He's got a power glove on.
Are you?
I mean, you could put black mesh over it too, so you don't even have to show your face.
True.
Not like me with a mask is all the way up against.
But I could barely stream for 30 minutes without getting like annoyed with the outfit on. So I don't think I would last at a con surrounded by people and body heat and stuff.
Are you like, if you go to cons, are you like, if you're not revealing who you are you not showing your identity? Like, are you staying basically anonymous?
I'm just not going. Like the thing is, this is like, I've had this conversation with so many people, and this is the one big regret that I have doing YouTube in this manner. Because when I first thought of this, I wanted to do it something super different, something weird, something never, something I thought was never before seen. Obviously, I didn't know Doomcock existed until after I did it. But I wanted to do something that was really weird and different, and not just be another commentator. Not that that's anything wrong with that. I just wanted to be different. And unfortunately, now the channel is so big. I mean, it's not really that big, but like, it's big enough that now I feel like I can't go back. And now that I can't go back, I'm kind of stuck in that like VTuber thing where people are like, "Oh, you just go incognito." I'm like, well, that it doesn't matter. Like, that kind of defeats the purpose of an anonymous channel, like a faceless channel. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I'll just be on camera. So up until the point I face reveal, I probably will not go to a con, which sucks because I really would want to. I've said that many, many times, that I definitely would want to. Part of me wants to troll and go without saying anything and just like record stuff and post it later without anybody knowing that I was there.
Oh, speaking of trolling and
you
shit
should
like
do
that.
You should do that. That would be awesome. That's definitely a unique perspective.
What's the guy's name? Was it Bryan Cranston that played Walter White?
Yeah, he went as Walter White.
No, I didn't go as Walter White, but when I lived in Atlanta. Oh, he did. Yeah, makes sense. But when I lived in Atlanta, I went to, I think it was Anime Week in Atlanta. It might have been like 2016, 2017. This guy's just Bryan Cranston just sitting in the courtroom, or not the courtroom, but the food court, just eating. And like me and my buddies at the time, we were looking. I was like, that Walter White? And he gets up and walks out, and he's just like, bro, that was Walter White. He didn't say shit.
Yeah, a lot of celebrities are like that, man. They will try to go incognito to some extent.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it's just it would kind of defeat the purpose. You know what I mean? Plus, I wouldn't want to go unless I could get involved to some extent.
Yeah,
you know?
I get that.
So, plus, a lot of people are saying my voice is pretty easily recognizable. So, you know, aside from the fact that people think I'm drunk 3PO for some reason, I don't know why that's a thing.
You clearly speak faster than he does.
Yeah, I do. I think it was in the beginning when I was speaking. So, I don't know. I have no idea. That was weird. Everybody thought I was like Drunk 3PO's alt channel that kept saying his channel was dead, so that he made mine.
I love that.
Hypnotic is just radical 3PO.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Headcanon accepted.
That's really what it is. Radical 3PO.
So Gina Carano, Hypnotic. Go.
Oh, you know what? That's how you make your introduction to my manga. It just so happens Drunk 3PO is just some regular ass dude who's clumsy as hell. And then he pulls like a full Superman move, just turns into Hypnotic.
Listen,
it's weird,
future boy. I can do whatever I want on my motherfucking channel. You go back to the future and leave me alone.
Oh, you gifted memberships, nice.
Yeah,
they just started allowing that, didn't they? That wasn't always allowed, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Memberships to our own channels.
Yeah.
They started at like about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember that being a thing.
And just because I can,
it's gonna do another 5. Watch.
Bang.
Here he goes.
Let's go.
Don't highlight yourself. You.
I didn't highlight myself.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
In all fairness, if you wanted to show off, you would have doubled it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. See, I doubled the 5, so it's 10. There you go, guys.
I'll double.
You know what it is? It's Future Boy wanting to give the memberships, and you're taking that away from him. That's what it is.
You're taking everything he's worked for, motherfucker.
What
it is.
Gooch.
See, that's what you come to the stream, Hypnotic, and we just start raining gifts on everybody. You bring your community. That's what happens.
Yeah, the amount of griff comments I get, it's fantastic. I gotta say.
Dirty beard person. And we can say that because we were when we were in Vegas, he was getting ranch and shit in his mustache.
Oh, dude,
yes,
nice.
Yeah,
bro, you're drinking from a bottle and still getting ranch in the mustache.
Yeah. Like you literally all that's in the tip of that thing is this itty bitty little hole, and somehow you were still able to squirt it all over your face.
It wasn't all
phrasing.
Natural experience.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Oh no, trust me, it's all intentional.
Never again am I doing that. Never. Your beard is bigger than mine. I don't believe it.
Shagsworth's nickname in Vegas was the Target.
The Target.
The Target.
For sure.
Yeah, hit that like button, guys. Let's see what we can do. We also they shared it earlier. Sonia had shared the link to the Midweek Hump channel. So we're trying to build a totally separate channel for this show.
Nice.
Trying to do what we can to get up to 500 subs, get our watch hours in. So if you can, let's get that link in there again, and you guys can watch over there. Our after show is going to end up being over there eventually. Along with
that's cool.
Along with Rumble. Yeah. So head over there. Definitely subscribe.
Go ahead and subscribe. Get them views in. Yeah, do that shit.
You put the Legion link in there.
No.
What?
Who did?
You use the link.
I don't mind for the follow. Please do follow.
Follow the Legion of Memers,
Follow
though,
the
too.
Legion.
Please do follow. And if you are a member right now, you get exclusive viewing on the newest vlog, which I made. I'm very proud of. So check it out. If you're not a member, it'll be ready on Friday.
Oh, we're just doing promotions now.
Oh
all
no,
right,
I
follow
was
me
right
on
there
Twitter.
in front of me, Sheep. What do you expect me not to do?
All right, everybody, follow me on Twitter at Alyssa_Merc.
Oh, for sure.
You can follow my
To
OnlyFans
celebrate
on...
the new job.
I'm working as senior editor at something.
That's something. That's great.
Okay, I have a question for you guys because I haven't. So this, I'll be completely honest. What I didn't follow over the past couple of weeks is the censorship shit with Stellar Blade. What are people?
Oh, okay.
What are people upset about? With
So
don't yell at me though, Jesse. Just let me know what happened.
Yell at him. Yell at me. Yell at him, but say it at me.
Okay. So I pretend I'm angry at a black man. That should be easy.
There you go. Easy.
No, so essentially
Mexicans taking everyone's jobs now. God, even the black man.
We do what we have to do. We do what we have to do to get by, man. I'm just a poor, broke YouTuber trying to make a living. Finally got monetized again. So, all that kind of stuff. But
nice.
No,
Congrats.
Thank you, Hypnotic. Thank you, brother. Yeah, that just happened.
Success all around. I love it.
Absolutely. But yeah, so Stellar Blade advertised certain costumes, right? Certain outfits that you could gain throughout the game by completing certain accomplishments and stuff like that, right? Well, some of those got censored. Some of that you could relate. Basically, it came down to Sony forced the company's hand on a few things, is what it sounds like. They basically, some of the more you could argue that they're risque. None of us would argue that they're risque. It's a fucking video game for the love of heaven. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like one of them they had was like a top that had like a much lower cut. And what they ended up doing is basically putting like a tank top underneath it, so that way instead of having like plunging cleavage, it just shows like half boob top.
Well, the funny thing about that outfit is, I think it was just like a front piece, because on the back of it, it was still that deep cutout.
Hmm.
So it's like they just put black, I guess like assets or whatever, just over those cuts specifically.
Yeah. Long story short, Sony made a game cover up some titties. People got upset. They boycotted it. Grum's got some death threats. Became a complete bitch about it, and then cried on Twitter. People had to go with him about stuff.
The thing
there's one specific thing that you guys will. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say. I think the whole like the censorship bit that was on was it with the dev team or the CEO or whatever. He said that's something he planned on having done. Something like that. The CEO
of Sony was saying
no, not a Sony, of Shift Up.
The issue that people are leaving out is that it's not about them censoring the game in particular, because I mean, listen, they've done this how many times now? It's about the fact that the developer made a post specifically saying that the game will be released uncensored in all countries. That is the reason why people are feeling extra salty about this one, because they made that post and everybody acknowledges that they made that post for a reason. Because Shift Up knows what the discourse was here in the West. Okay, that you had them talking about it. You had Maxim Korea even making fun of it and making fun of Western gamers and how they want they think Eve is unrealistic or whatever the case. They were making fun of all of it. So they knew the discourse that was happening in the West, and they specifically made this post about the game being uncensored in all countries, and that was a big deal for a lot of people, because that was kind of like the icing on the cake that was already being made for the past few weeks prior, where they were showcasing how Eve is going to be standard beauty, let's just say, how the outfits were going to be a little risque, some of them not, some of them are. And just overall, I mean, the combat looked good, like everything. They were hitting all the right points, and then they topped that cake off with, oh, by the way, it's going to be uncensored everywhere, so you're going to get the same experience no matter where you are. Have fun. And then what ended up happening was that wasn't the case. People only found out because of the hard R thing. I'm sure they were going to find out eventually, but people found out because of the hard R censorship, where that whole drama that was like manufactured by Kotaku or whatever. They censored the graffiti, and then when they censored the graffiti, that made people want to dig deeper, and then they found out, oh, by the way, the outfits are censored too. Here's your comparisons. Now people feel like it's censorship for a multitude of different reasons, and I'll stop talking after this.
You're the guest.
Yeah, well, I know. I try not to when I'm the guest. The whole thing about the censorship. When you really think about it, they tried to gaslight people and say, well, the CEO, whoever the lead developer in Shift Up, he tried to gaslight people and say, well, this was my initial design, that's why it wasn't censored, right? Like this was what I always planned from the beginning. So just by word of play, right? That can't be possible, right? Because when you release a game that has a physical copy, the physical copy, whatever version is on that disc, that is your final version. Now, obviously, you can update it, you can patch it, right? That's different. That's allowed in today's modern internet age, of course. But if there was no internet, if you live somewhere with no internet, if you only got the disc version, that would be your final version of the game, right? That is the, by definition, final version of the game. Or you could say the retail version of the game, the shipped out version of the game, whatever. So any changes after that is a patch. That's not your intended version. That's not your intended idea, because if that was your intended idea, that would be on the disc, right? So just by definition alone, they did do censorship, even if it was always his intended idea. This is all in my opinion, by the way. Even if it was his intended idea, that 1.0 version on the disc, that is the retail release version. That means that even if it's a day one patch, you still patched it, so you still censored it, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's weird. Poopa Chalupa says DEI equals destroy every IP. It seems like that's what's happening. I was trying to compare that, and I was talking about this a little bit last night because I was seeing some people tweet about Hades 2 and how they were IGN specifically was trying to prop up this game and talk shit about Stellar Blade. Last night, I mean, I pulled up both reviews that they did, and they were very fairly written. You know, whether or not people were making opinions beforehand from IGN is one thing, but their official reviews that they did, I mean, I read through every word in it. And Stellar Blade, you know, they actually celebrated a lot of Stellar Blade, and they didn't even talk about the outfits in it. But I understand now that
or lack thereof,
exactly. They were actually saying that they enjoyed the variety of them. Some of them were skimpy, but it wasn't like I said, there wasn't anything like, oh, how dare they, or this was just some horn dog move for lame gamers. And then I've played Hades 2, and the only god that is scantily clad is Aphrodite, which makes sense if you understand Greek mythology. And there's, I mean, but you know, it's just one of those things where like I don't even know what to believe anymore with the shit out here. I mean, absolutely, like the lie is the thing, right? Like, don't say one thing and then put out the other. That's wrong. You're misleading your customers. They're not going to trust you. It's like the very basic part of business. Like, yeah.
It sets a bad precedent.
It does.
Very bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, all I was going to say is Future Boy brings up a good point. It was IG in France, one of their guys out there that wrote that article bashing it, talking about how clearly this was made by a person who has never actually seen a female before in real life.
Correct.
Which is really funny because I think the guy who created his wife is like
his
one
wife
of the lead
is the one that designed it.
Yeah, it's the one that helped design the game. Yeah,
gorgeous, by the way.
So it's
absolutely gorgeous.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Really?
absolutely gorgeous woman too. And the other thing is,
Frenchman with a bad take. No.
Yeah, color me shocked. But IGN actually forced him to delete that, and they had to rewrite. They rewrote. They didn't rewrite the article. They deleted those sections from the artitle. Yeah,
that's based.
I was actually kind of surprised IGN did that, but I was impressed.
Yeah.
Well, he rephrased it, and it became something. It was like, I don't know, some like it would seem as if someone never seen a woman before, something like that. He tried to rephrase it in a way. He was being passive aggressive, and then after he edited it, they made him delete it afterwards because like, you know what, there's no saving this, just delete it and put a freaking editor's note or something at the end. So it's just sad, man.
They patched it like they did the game.
Yeah. And the conversation around this is important because this is, anybody who's into gaming or just in general, man, it's not even just gaming really anymore, but let's just talk about gaming. Like anybody into gaming right now, when it comes to East versus West, this is always a problem when it's Eastern characters being ported over to the West. This is never a problem when it's Western characters being made by Western developers, right? Like that, because if you look at the characters being made by Western developers, eight times out of 10, they are interesting creatures, let's just say, right? And the characters coming out of the East are more of your standardized, typical, what most people would say are beautiful female characters
Fantasy
or whatever.
women, like, for
Yeah, they're much more
yeah.
feminine. They got the softer features, and what most actual men would like. But the thing is, it only ever happens to Eastern characters. When an Eastern character comes out that has some sort of conversation being spurred around them, it suddenly becomes this is just for the male gaze. They're sexualizing his character. This is jerk off bait. This is blah blah blah. But if the character was then made by the West and it was made to look more androgynous and look a little more masculine, or maybe they could just be a bear at this point, as we know with Baldur's Gate, like that suddenly is okay. Now it's safe to sexualize him. Now it's safe to talk about how hot they are, which is what they're doing with Hades too. Now it's okay to make that into a thing, but with the Eastern characters, you can't have that, right? Because if they allow that, then it goes against that whole. They don't like standard femininity. They don't like standard anything. Like the whole reason why you have identity politics is to break apart from standardized identities, right? Like standardized whatever's considered standard. It could be down to beauty, it could be down to whatever, but that's the whole point. You have all these different. Anyway, the point is, they tend to only do this with the Eastern characters. That's why they censor them. You'll find, look what they did with Tifa. They put a maternity cloth right above her boobs. You know what I mean? Like, granted, they tried to use her age as a justification, but you and I both know that they didn't even know her age until someone told them, because they never played the game. Right. Her age is never even mentioned in the game. It's only mentioned in the books that came with the original first version of the game. So I know for a fact that most people didn't know her age up until that point, but once they found out, they used it to justify censorship. It's all the same. It's all the same BS.
Because they fetishize Eastern culture. That's the problem. That's why their first. That's why it's always their first thought, is because that's what they do themselves.
And think about this, and then I'll shut up. The Eve and Tifa got the same exact kind of censorship, right? So like, they didn't change the outfit necessarily. All they did was they patched it, right? So wherever the cleavage is at, they put that little maternity cloth thing, for modern audiences, and they covered up the cleavage and they sent them on their way, right? They don't do that with Western characters. Did they do that to Aphrodite, who damn near like the cleavage is all the way down to her lower stomach, like the cut is that low? Did they do that to her? No, they kept that shit all out for people to see.
Abby.
Huh?
I wish they did it to Abby.
I wish they didn't even use Abby, but I mean, here we are.
I'm at. That's where I am.
He's a handsome woman. Leave him alone.
He is a handsome woman.
He definitely is. So that's the conversation, and that's why, as a fan of Eastern content, I noticed that hypocrisy, and a lot of people are talking about that more and more and catching on to that fact. That's why they can't outright completely lie. So when you read their reviews, they'll pretend to praise the game, but then they'll usually, when it comes to talking about character design, or personality character, or they'll say it's bland. I think IGN said it was bland, boring.
They thought
the world design was a little boring or something like that.
Yeah. But they did. So the one thing I will appreciate about the review was they talked about the director of the game and how he basically said, "I'm not a storyteller." And that's what he used to justify his criticism of the characters being what he thought was blander than he would have liked. That he didn't really care about, like, it didn't seem like we were meant to care about Eve, and then the story beats were pretty predictable. That was you could levy criticism against that, because he seemed to really, really not like the story, but he also celebrated the part of the game that really mattered to people, which was the combat. And I think that's why people were gravitating to it being like game of the year, was like the combat was so cool. Like, they took something like Sekiro and they made it even better. Like, there was so many different ways that you could fight, and it wasn't just about running away. Like, you had to parry, or it encouraged the parries or the dodges, or whatever it was. That was my takeaway from it. Anyway.
People are sitting here praising Celebrated as game of the year, and I'm over here like, but Power World let you have human slaves from day one, and they did so many patches and kept that shit. How is that not the most base game of this year?
Right.
Well, and you know what?
I don't know. I'm still a diver, so I think that's probably the best game of the year.
What's really funny about the whole Stellar Blade situation too is one of the things that I found the craziest is, guess who was the voice of reason in all of this?
The gamer.
Variety.
Oh yeah, that's right. Variety did put out that one article.
So Variety wrote this article. This is the first time I've ever seen a game review from Variety, right? So Hollywood must obviously be getting really, really boring, and they don't have anything to cover there anymore. But
this chick nailed it.
This chick from Variety. So I think I had Variety's review and like gamer.com's review or something like that. I had them up side by side.
Yeah.
And the Variety article, written by a woman, mind you, and the Gamer article with the name, I wasn't entirely sure. But the Variety article was written by a woman. She starts off by saying how attractive and curvaceous Eve is, and that, yes, guess what? Sex sells. She literally says that in the article, is that sex sells.
Since day
She
one.
also, yep, she also talks about... Well, she also talks about how much she enjoyed the combat was, and how it felt like very similar, almost in like a very similar Souls vein, like the way you had to understand how the combat worked and the patterns and all that kind of stuff. Whereas the gamer,
yeah,
excuse me. Well, and the opposite was the gamer was the direct opposite. They were whining and complaining about the parrying system and about how they couldn't figure it out and how it was too hard and yada, yada, yada. And then, of course, they talked about the controversy over how hot she was and all of this other nonsense. And it was like, that just Variety, boys and girls. Variety was the voice of reason in the Stellar Blade controversy. This is the wildest timeline ever. I love it.
That's the benefit of being a normie. Like, you look at Variety, who doesn't cover video games, stepping into a space and going, "Oh, I enjoy this." They don't have that they don't have that skewed, obviously like unnecessary political lean to where they think they have to say the thing that will keep them in the good graces. No, just say report the journalism part. That's it.
Modern gaming, the new thing is stretch mark sells. That's what Western gaming companies developers are going for. I think you're right, Booba Chalupa. We're not far from that. You guys know that, right? Like,
yeah, stretch marks, and and another thing that a lot of people like to point out is Mary Jane's design, MJ's design in the first Spider-Man game. How she was like, she had a smaller frame. She was a woman. She had like a more rounded jawline and very feminine features. And then in part 2, she looked like a swamp.
She looked like the mask the person who had like remember that movie with Cher? Bro. It looked like that guy.
Yeah.
She looks like she plays fetch with sticks in the backyard. Like her jaw was so powerful. Like she has to be chewing something to get to that level of muscle in the jaw. There's no way. It's not BJ's. Like you don't get that kind of jaw from that. You are working out your bones.
And she's got to chew them.
No, man. She plays fetch with Spider-Man for sure.
She's doing workouts with Brie Larson, and they getting punched in their face by Thanos. That's what it was.
Hey, real quick,
without a doubt.
Real quick, No Green Rocks is about to turn into a pumpkin, so we gotta let him go. Let us know what you're doing this week, brother.
Gonna be up early.
What a nerd.
Always. But yeah, it's great meeting you, Hypnotic, man. I've been watching your rise for a while now. It's great to finally meet you, my dude.
Higgity.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Of course. So as I was saying previously, go check out the Legion of Memers channel. If you're a member, you get what do you say, a pre-screening, or you get
early access.
Early access to the Friday Night Tights vlog I made. For everybody else, it'll be ready at 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. Mountain Time on Friday, and on Rumble it'll be ready at 11:30. So if you guys are following us on Rumble, you can watch that whole thing early. I hope you enjoy. I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed being around everybody. It was a hell of a lot of fun. So thanks for having me on, guys. I'm always glad hanging out with everybody. And I shall see you on the Legion of Memers meme stream at 2 p.m. Mountain Time this week. And I'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
sounds good, man. Good. Pleasure meeting you.
Peace.
All right, great. Now that nerd's gone.
Fuck that guy.
Are you on Rumble? Do you stream or upload to Rumble at all?
Talking to me?
Yeah. Sorry.
I was syncing my videos until something happened where apparently
YouTube
like they don't do that anymore. Yeah, YouTube like axed that. So I'm too lazy to do that. I'm not gonna upload videos, and I probably should, but I don't. But I do stream. Yeah, I stream to Rumble. All my streams are there.
Okay.
Hypnocast is there. SNH is there.
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, no, it's like straight up. I'm just way too lazy to do that shit. But I really should though. I kind of want to pay Nerd Wars to do it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I really should do it, but I don't.
It's a pain in the butt because Rumble. It's a pain in the butt too because Rumble's stuff is kind of slow to upload sometimes too, and so like you'll sit there and it'll just be uploading. It'll take forever, and you just basically have to go do something else sometimes and wait for it to upload. Because I try to upload all of my stuff to Rumble first, but it's a pain in the butt sometimes.
I've uploaded like 2 videos to Rumble after the whole desyncing, and I did it because YouTube tried to block those videos, and they did okay. They didn't do that bad. I think I have like 700 something followers on Rumble. Like it's not even crazy. But yeah, it's just another opportunity. It's another platform for people. I got some people watching on Twitch. Not a lot. I stream to Twitch, Kick, Rumble, Twitter, and YouTube. And I got to be honest with you, if you're not streaming to Twitter, I highly recommend it.
Do you? I mean, I was for a bit. The issue was I don't know. Like I would say probably a good month or 2 we were doing it, and I just didn't. I don't know. It didn't seem to really make much of a difference. Why do you recommend?
Are you changing the title specifically for Twitter, or are you using the same title all around?
I realized at first that you need to change it every time, and then I did start. A couple of weeks, I think I missed it, but for the most part, I was changing it.
Because when I first started doing it with Twitter, I didn't notice that big of a boost. I had a little boost, but I mainly, why I use it? I mainly use it as another form of notification. So like what I do is I'll stream to Twitter, and the moment that stream is live, I'll pin it on my Twitter page, and I'll also drop the YouTube link, specifically saying YouTube link here. And I get a lot of traffic from that post on Twitter. So even though I'm live on Twitter, a lot of people end up clicking that, realizing I'm live, and then clicking the YouTube link and coming over. So that's the reason why I mainly recommend it. It's just like an extra kind of like cast your net out there, and people will come from that. But no, I get a decent amount of views. Like tonight, I think I got 4 something viewers. Like 400 something viewers from Twitter. So it's like not
the problem
not terrible.
with Twitter's views though is it doesn't show live views. It takes
correct
a normal view as a live view. So you'll be sitting there and you're like, holy shit, I got 400 people watching, and I'm like, but no one's saying, there's no interaction. And then you realize that the video's just got 400 views, but StreamYards can't determine the difference between a view and a live view.
Yeah, 100%. But at least it tells me that at least 400 people clicked it and saw it, and I have a chance at 400 people finding my YouTube video, So because I go by the YouTube concurrent, and if my YouTube like tonight, it almost hit 600, and the reason why is because it was going crazy over on Twitter. I tend to notice the correlation. Like the better it does on Twitter, the higher my YouTube number becomes, concurrent anyway. So it just works out that way.
Yeah, I definitely know. I mean, the issue I have is I can only stream to 3 places on here. So until what's that?
Make one of them that you stream to restream with your free account. With a free restream account, you can stream up to 2 other ones, so you can split that off from there.
Oh, that's smart. I'm dumb.
That's how I
do it with Kick.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I will do. I'll get that set up then, because that sounds.
Or you pay $8 or $3 a month, I think it is, and then you can do up to 5.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense, and that is good, because I do recognize the value of streaming to multiple platforms. X is just weird. I just thought it's just not quite ready for the live streams, but maybe that's the point, is to be doing it now when it doesn't really matter, so you're there when they actually dial it in, and it's like,
well, because Elon did just launch an app for smart TVs for X now, so you can watch video. You'll be able to watch videos. I know it's going to be videos. As far as the live streams, I don't know yet, but you are going to be able to watch all the videos on the X app on your smart TV now. So don't know how well it works yet. I haven't messed with it, but I know they announced it.
I'm going to turn on the TV to go to Twitter.
Well, it's to
right?
watch the videos on Twitter because he's trying to move it. He's trying to give everything competition. But that's why it's like I'll just upload videos to Twitter because like who knows, first in, best dressed. Maybe you'll get lucky.
Improve your CPM. That'll help.
I will say that it's hard to find the chat box on a Twitter live stream. Am I bugging?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I click it and I don't see it.
Right, so you have to hit the comment button, and you think it's just going to be a normal comment on the post itself, but it actually pulls up the Twitter chat. I found that out.
And it opens up a new window for it.
Does it?
So yeah,
I got to look at that again then because I constantly look for it because I do get Twitter chats. Like I see it pop up in the stream. It's not a lot, but I see it, and I want to like go in there and either drop a YouTube link or just talk to them. And every time I look, I don't see anything, and I feel like I'm an idiot. I'm looking at the wrong spot.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because they used to actually have like a slightly different button or like a different setup for the actual active live streams on X, and like then they changed it. So that's how I just accidentally found out about the chat thing today. It's hitting the comment button. So
yeah, it'd be good if I could find that. I feel like they need to make that. They need to make chat not only more fun, right? Like other platforms where you got emojis and all that shit. They gotta. Sorry if I'm not allowed to curse. They got to.
Fuck.
Oh, we don't fucking care.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't ask.
Wow,
I'm sorry.
What a cunt.
I know.
We got our Australian over
shitty
here.
of me. I'm sorry.
Calling you a bag of sticks.
100%.
Oh, you mean the fat?
Why can't we say that word? That's so. It's just
It is stupid, isn't it?
Melanie
why
Mac
can't we
ruined
say
that
the
word for
N-word?
me. I'm not
Like,
gonna
if you
lie.
don't mean it, like there's no harm in it, right? Like
Grant, I agree.
A lot
I
of people
agree.
drop that word, myself included, in a way that has nothing to do with gay people. But that's just me.
Right.
Like I feel like that word just means like you are acting a certain way, and I just want you to know that.
Like a bitch.
Yeah, basically. But
and like I want it to be like cunt, like in Australia.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be a term of endearment, not a slur. Like
Pejorative.
I don't know.
There you go.
I have found out that one thing that enrages a certain group of people is memes, and so I have compiled quite an extensive insulting meme folder that I can essentially have conversations with memes. So now, anytime I get quote tweeted, which has been a lot lately, I had a freaking tweet. I think it hit 2 million views. I think I don't know. And that thing brought out all the furries, all the hardcore leftists. The one about Baconator that I put out.
Oh
there.
yeah, that one was good.
Yeah, and it was such a simple tweet. Like I wasn't even going crazy in that tweet. Like I have other tweets where I'm way more aggressive. That tweet was just a blanket statement. Yeah. And that's all it took, man. And I just got people like crazy, and I got ratios upon ratios in the comment section where someone tries to troll me, and I put a meme, and I get like 2,000 likes, and they have like 5, and there's like 10 examples of that. But anyway. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say now. God, I don't know. But yeah, that word needs to come back. Yeah, it needs to come back.
Yeah, 100%. Make a great again.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with people using the word. I will say that's definitely going to be that's Melanie Mac's quote on her back of her trading card for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well,
With
if
the
you
hard
want some breaking news, because I haven't shared this with anybody except for my SNH crew. I got demonetized on Twitter recently after I just got monetized. Yeah, so I got demonetized on Twitter apparently for profanity. They say that profanity is not allowed when you are monetized, which is interesting because I'm almost positive I've seen people who are monetized use profanity. But again, I don't know. But I'm demonetized on Twitter, and I've emailed back and forth with this rep like 4 or 5 times until eventually they gave me an email saying we can no longer help you. So just a short example of it. They said I got demonetized for profanity. I asked them to provide examples of what got me demonetized because they say if you delete it, they'll reevaluate. So I was like, okay, great. Can you show me what I did? They won't show me. They just say you need to go to your profile and delete it. It's like I can't delete what I don't know you're referencing. Can you please show me? They won't. Shit. Yeah, they won't show me again, and so I eventually just use my pronouns against them because I have pronouns in my YouTube profile. Yeah, I said you are discriminating against a trans person. I highly find that offensive. I wonder if Twitter would like to know about this, and they ended up completely ignoring me at that point.
Wow.
They just blew you off. They're like,
Yeah.
that shit don't work here.
You can't take
That
these
shit
people
don't work here
seriously.
anymore.
Yeah, I was just trolling them at that point because I just wanted
Yeah.
to see what they would say. But yeah, I got demonetized for profanity. And fun fact, I really do feel like my Twitter page, since it kind of exploded in popularity recently, I feel like I'm being targeted more. I don't know if it's with automated systems or anything, but like for example, my I have a meme that drops like the F-bomb with the word noises next to it. That meme I've been using for months, like literally months. And now anytime I post that meme, it gets hit for limited visibility. So I don't know.
It's weird because we've had some banger shows here on the Midweek Hump. Like some that like I question, like how do we not get in trouble for it? And I haven't really rattled the cage at all, but I mean, there's been some shows that like come back as like limited monetization, and I'll make them like watch it. I'm like, no, you check it out because I'm pretty sure this is fine. Or even though I know it's like, and almost I think every single one has come back like okay. So it's really weird, like how YouTube will do this thing where they have a pretty big window of like what they're accepting. I mean, because we say some weird shit on here sometimes, like some fucked up shit.
You do. What do you mean?
But then there's like this. They start demonetizing people or copywriting people or whatever for like weird stuff and for like very little things. And maybe it's because they have a bigger following and they're being louder on certain other platforms or whatever. But dude,
The one that tends to get hit the most is reused content. Like reused content is if you get hit for demonetization, if you get hit for demonetization for reused content, I would guarantee that you're probably going to be able to win the appeal. It's almost always wrong. It's usually automated for whatever reason. So that's why I kind of like the content I do because none of it's reused, right? But there's people that use like clips, videos, whatever. That's the one that gets hit the most. So
luckily we don't really do that. I mean, we go and like play clips every now and then, but most of our just like the sheer amount of profanity and like the fucked up shit we say sometimes. I'm like, I don't know how this gets past like advertisers. Like they think, oh, this is totally fine. Like I don't know.
Some advertisers don't actually give a shit. That whole advertiser, they're going to run off because of the controversy of what's going on the platform. All that has ever been is a fucking excuse for them to nuke people and demonetize people.
Yep.
That's all it's ever been. Because most advertisers, if you're getting 1 million views of video, an advertiser doesn't give a shit what you're saying. You're getting 1 million views on their ad.
Right.
Well, those ones who pulled the ads on PewDiePie, every single company that's done that, the person who was responsible for that is no longer working for those companies.
That makes sense.
Weird.
Yeah, and now they're advertising again on YouTube.
Can you imagine? You took how much money away from me? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but he said the N-word on a bridge. I'm like, I say it all the time.
Say it again. We'll pay him to say it again. Get the fuck out of our office.
Yeah,
Do you monetize your streams?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't.
So,
I don't
well,
monetize my streams.
I don't know. And that I'm so new to this, and I've done well, and we've done well in it, but like I just monetize everything because why the fuck
Do you get
not?
green check marks? Green dollar signs?
Half the time.
After the review.
Yeah, I got it none of the time, which is why like I just don't monetize the stream.
It depends. Some streams, depending on who the people are. Like I've had yellow dollar signs before the streams even started, depending on who the guest is, or if like my title is like maybe a little.
It's a title, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I've had a lot of these streams and a lot of my interviews don't have any like revealing topics in them. So to me, it's obviously like who the person is. Unless they're
Did you get that with Buck Angel?
That's a good question. I don't remember. Maybe.
Yeah, you
Buck
go
may
check
have
that.
Gave me limited.
Because I mentioned him in the title, and that was the first time I noticed that a video got censored before it went live.
Yeah. So, but if they review it, it almost always says, "Oh, this is suitable for all advertisers."
Yeah.
Which doesn't always matter at that point, because I don't get a lot of. It's only like the bigger people that I interview that gets like more views after the fact. But
if you want your 8 cents for a stream, you'll abide by their rules.
I'll take the 8 cents, man. I'll take their money all day. I don't care how much it is.
My videos don't really get demonetized like that. But ironically, the ones that you're guaranteed to get demonetized on, for me anyway, almost always involve women and the word like ugly or angry. Like if I say angry women melt down, demonetized. If I say ugly women are angry, demonetized. Like it's like immediate, and I realize that if I take those words away, like angry, ugly, or whatever, and just put women, it almost always goes green. So YouTube has like an interesting protection against that. Because my videos a while ago from Stellar Blade, I put in the title that angry women are mad at standard beauty, whatever, something like that, and every single fucking one of them was yellow dollar signs. But the interesting fact, the reason why I bring it up is that I peeled it and it went green. But it's automated. Yeah, they're automated to be yellow based off, the words that I used and whatnot. So
that's interesting. I mean, it's not surprising that these people are as fragile as they appear. They're just like these little wastes of life that are trying to police people's morality when they don't have any morality themselves.
No,
it's
not at all.
wild. Did you guys see that Disney and Warner Brothers are going to team up to include Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max all together this summer here in the U.S.? Did you see that?
So they're combining their
Max combo.
I've seen something like this in the past. I think it was called Cable.
TV,
something like that. Cable.
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
It was like this weird plastic and metal box, usually hooked up to the TV, and it had like some decent.
It had like multiple channels on it, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Had these little wires coming out of the top that for some reason we called bunny ears, and sometimes you'd put aluminum foil on the end of them.
And they work. Yeah.
You mean aluminium?
Aluminium.
That's where they're going.
Okay.
That's right.
That's basically what it is. It's like it's like it's stupid. It's what I see. It's like at one point in time you paid a lot to watch cable. Then it came up with streaming services so that you can watch certain shows or shows that you really want kind of on demand for a good price. And now they've gotten so many titles under their belt that they're like, let's raise these prices. We might need to give ourselves a little bit more of a pat on the back or something like that because of these deals and stuff they got to maintain, so on and so forth. And slowly but surely they're becoming like, DirecTV 2.0.
It's like that Thanos meme.
Instead, they became it.
Yeah.
That Thanos meme where it's like, where did that lead you? Back to me, kind of a thing.
Right back to me.
That's what cable is,
Well, and it's funny about that too is because we also have broadcast internet cable or broadcast internet television, just like we had all of our 3, 6, and 9s or whatever it was in your area back in the day. Because now you've got Tubi, you've got MeTV, you've got Pluto, you've got all of these free, the fast channels, free advertised streaming
alone.
channels.
Like, dude,
they're great.
Like 100,000 fast channels, which is what we used to just call television. TV with ads.
Oh, this is way more than we ever got with UHF and VHF.
Yeah. Give me Pluto TV. That's all. They gave me all the Kamen Rider I could watch. I'm happy.
Yep.
Dude, there's literally 22 different Cops channel that just play episodes of Cops and they're based purely simply on the cities. So if you want to watch just Atlanta City, but I mean, but it's playing constantly 24 hours a day. It is insane. And that's where people are the advertisers are putting their money into the fast.
Well, this is funny. What's funny is that at one point in time, G4 had a channel on Twitch called G4 TV where it just ran old shows 24/7, and people loved that shit. And then Fork had to open her fucking mouth, and that's just gone
now. The thing that this makes me think of is the big oil back in the day where they broke up they had was it 1 or 2 companies that were running everything, They like smashed it into about 50 companies or whatever, and now it's basically down to like 5 again. And this is kind of like what's happening with cable. It's like you took out like you took out cable as like a viable option for most people, but then they made 1,000. They're making 1,000 different what's it called?
Yes, you did, Subhuman.
And then now they're all just because no one knows how to make good entertainment anymore. They're just putting out garbage. Now they're just starting to kind of like reform into one thing until people are like, you know what? Let's just get cable again. And
well, here's the funny thing about humans in this sense. We're retarded as a collective. Like you look at our forefathers broke away from the UK.
I've only got 2 dads.
2% tax just to come over here some like couple centuries later and do the same shit. Like
They've had a revolution over 2% tax, and now you're paying 39.
Yeah, basically, it's stupid. It's stupid.
Yep. Lavistro, 10 gifted Shagsworth memberships, brother. Appreciate you, dude.
Shout out,
boy.
Now he's just showing off.
If he was really wanting to show off, he'd do 20.
This dude got one.
Yeah, he definitely showing off. He's stunting on him. Stunting on Hypnotic.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you much, for the gift of memberships, and guys, enjoy. Everyone who got a membership tonight, make sure you enjoy that. Hopefully, keep it. We love members over here. Show off. Yeah.
So while we have the topic of entertainment, obviously in video games and whatnot at hand, how about Sony doing stupid shit on their end? Obviously, the whole deal with Helldivers. Now I know that was more of a Helldivers decision, Arrowhead decision. 6 months in advance, sure. They take blame for it as well. But Sony trying to sell a PSN account to play on Steam is retarded.
Yeah.
And then you have Xbox just laid off a whole bunch of people, closed down one of their better studios, like The Evil Within, one of my favorite games. I'll recommend that game to everybody. Sequel's better.
Tango, man, that's crazy.
You blew by one thing though. So they roll. So Sony and all that whole Helldivers controversy, they fucked up big time, right?
Of course.
But so they reverse it. But you know that that game is unsellable in those 117 countries. Still,
112.
Like, they didn't, whatever it is. Like they can't. So Steam sold it in all these areas. Now you can't buy it, and so PlayStation is still restricting these games. Now there are varying reasons for it. But I mean, PlayStation's still kind of grubby for not allowing it to be sold. Like the problem still is.
I don't think it's
PlayStation.
Solved. I think it's Steam.
It's so PlayStation is not available. I was looking this up last night.
PlayStation Network isn't available.
PlayStation Network isn't available in 112 countries for a variety of reasons. Some are infrastructure. Some are like, there's not internet there, or there's not enough of a market for these games.
Some of their leaders are really Xbox simps, so
politics, whatever it is. So there might be good reasons at some point. There might be bad reasons, but from how I see it now that I know more of it is that all these companies like Arrowhead, Steam, Sony, not really out of the woods in my opinion in what happened, because it's really bad faith what you did to what you were trying to do, and then still games are not available in those areas. But sorry, Sheep, I didn't mean to interrupt. Continue.
They just really quick, they it doesn't matter, because now that you don't have to link, those countries that were able to buy the game initially, that were having it taken down because they didn't have PSN and they were scared that the link was going to be a thing, so Steam took it down. Now it doesn't matter. So like they could technically put it back up in those countries for sale, and those players can still play that game because they won't be restricted, since they don't have to worry about PSN. It really doesn't matter. That's why I think it's Steam doing it, because Steam doesn't want an easy lawsuit. That's really what it is. Like you guys got to understand where Sony put Steam, right? And that's why I don't believe the stories that were coming out from Sony or Arrowhead, because they were saying, well, it was always there. A lot of people who were protecting Sony and Arrowhead, they were like, oh, it was always there. It was on the Steam page. If that's the case, if it was always there, then does that mean you're throwing Steam under the bus? Because Steam allowed those games to be sold in 170 something countries, I think it was. with that requirement, knowing that, or at least you should know that PSN is not available in those countries. So does Steam do that? Because I don't think they did, because once Steam found out what was happening, Steam's the one that took it down. Steam took down the games, not Sony, not Arrowhead. Steam took it down. So it looked like Steam figured out, oh, we actually were either lied to or we misunderstood it as well. We need to take this down. Otherwise, we're going to be in a heap of shit. And they took it down. And now they're not putting it back up because, well, I wouldn't trust Sony either. I mean, I'm sure they're going to try it at some point.
And I said this last night, that Arrowhead, Steam, Sony are lucky if they don't get a class action lawsuit out of this.
Dude, 100%.
Fucked up from, like, especially if they're saying like, oh, you know, this isn't going to be whatever the tweet was from the CEO 6 months ago, that this was all going to happen, basically. Like, I mean, that's
and you admitted that openly.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
So they'll be lucky if they don't get something. And I'm sure someone somewhere is trying to do immense damage control, because like everyone's trying to, it's like the Spider-Man meme. Everyone's like pointing at each other at this point. Like it's really, really shitty. And it's unfortunate because Helldivers is a fantastic game. It is awesome, fun. It's like the first time I felt like I've been playing a couch co-op game in a very, very long time. And I don't even play it that much. Like when I do play it, I love it. It's so much fun. But dude, they almost totally shot their dick off. Like, I mean, worse than Tarkov did.
Almost.
I mean, Tarkov chopped off their dick and threw it out of a moving car into the river. Like,
well, I mean, it hit 270,000 negative reviews in 48 hours. I mean, that's
pretty bad.
Yeah. And it went from like 100 to 120,000 players playing per day, like at any given time, to the first day it was down 20,000. By the second day it was down 40,000 players. They were down to like 60,000 players.
That's a day. I mean, 60,000 is still a lot, but to be down 40K is a lot.
Yeah, that's insane. But hey, that shows you how much power the people actually have. And everyone out there that's listening to this and seeing this story needs to remember that. Because the players of Helldivers, the fans, the gamers out there, in 2 days brought Sony to its knees and got them to backpedal on a game. That shows you how much power we actually have. What's the power we always had, but now we're actually standing up and using it. And these companies are going to have to listen, because guess what? All those assholes out there screaming in their ear before, they don't buy anything. They don't buy their merch. They don't show up to their movies. They don't play their games. Hogwarts Legacy had a boycott against it from all of those woke psychopaths. It became the #1 selling game of the year last year. Okay, or what the year it came out.
And it was never spoken about.
Now. Yeah. Never once talked about in the award shows. There was a couple of articles. I found one article that was like, Hogwarts Legacy might be the very first game to beat Call of Duty and all these others in 10 years as the #1 selling game of the year, you know, and dethroned them from their seat. And it was like, yeah, it did. But when we show up to protest something, when we're going to call you out for something, guess what? We make a difference. You went from a positive rating to a negative rating in 24 hours. That is freaking amazing. That shows you the power of all of us.
Well, you know, just like in Bug's Life at the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
That comment.
What did that comment? What did the grasshopper say? He said the ants can't find out that they outnumber us or something like that. Yeah, they have all the power.
If they ever stand up to us, we'll be screwed.
But dude, you know, this is what makes this whole this entire debacle is so interesting from a multitude of different perspectives, and one of them is the amount of people that shield for Big Daddy Corpo. Like this is why I trolled them to the
it was horrendous,
because it was crazy the amount of ball licking that was happening from certain people. Most of them are console gamers. No offense to you console gamers out there. You know, anybody who's heard me talk already knows how I feel about it. But
shut up, I'll turn the switch off right now.
The console gamers out there, there were some of them that were standing with PC gamers, which was awesome. But they're dude, like the Sony. Okay, so first off, the YouTubers, like there was a lot of YouTubers, some of them not gamers, some of them are gamers, but they were coming out like just straight up licking balls, and they're like, Sony's not going to do anything. You guys are just whiny babies. Imagine being a consumer and advocating for the corporation. Like I think that is such a wild take. It is. And it's like, You guys realize, and this is what I was saying to like Mighty Cuck before he blocked me. You know,
that guy.
He's just flat out being disingenuous about why people were mad. That's another thing too. Like all of these freaking losers out there that were misrepresenting what gamers were angry about, right? Because you had two dramas happening back to back. You had the Stellar Blade drama, and then you had the Helldivers drama, and both of them had to do with essentially the corporation lying to the consumer and the customer realizing it and getting pissed. So then you had these people making videos, making posts, and trying to say, "Oh, it's just gamers being whiny. It takes 5 seconds to leave." That's not what this is about. Like you're disingenuously representing it because you eat ass. Like don't get it twisted. Just because you eat ass and you eat it like it's a salad doesn't mean that I have to then eat ass too.
Right.
Like, and look what happens when people say, "You know what? I'm not gonna deal with this shit." Like all it took, like Common Nerd said, took 2 days, bro. 2 days of people saying, "I'm not putting up with this shit. I'm just not." It doesn't matter. Like nothing. You're not gonna gaslight me into thinking that it was always this way when you changed your terms of service on your website to reflect something and act as if Wayback Machine doesn't exist. Like no, we caught that. We caught all of that.
One of the things that a lot of people tend to forget about. I mean, yeah, today like these most recent victories are kind of crazy, but one of the things that a lot of people tend to forget about is way back in the old COVID days of 2020 when The Last of Us 2 dropped. It was getting talked about all day, every fucking where. You get to the Game Awards, it won every single award except for the one that mattered the most, and that's because Neil Druckmann decided to be a retard and voiced itself, saying something stupid along the lines of like, telling all of those chuds to shut up, go ahead and vote for The Last of Us. We pretty much got this in the bag. And then the gamers like, no, you don't. And they all practically voted. Gamers' Choice, the only award that matters at that shitty ass show. The Gamers' Choice, because the gamers are the ones playing the game, went right to Ghost of Tsushima. It was a ridiculous sweep, and I loved it. That's the one thing. That's one of the things that a lot of people tend to forget about. Like, you can't just keep those victories in mind.
Yep.
Apparently, this is how Hypnotic feels about.
Oh yeah, I sent that meme out to it. Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Like you have people, and this is the worst part about all this, right? This is the worst part. So not only did you disingenuously represent the argument, not only did you shill for Big Daddy Corpo, but then when the gamers won, you got upset that the consumer won. What do you mean?
That was one of the wildest things.
Congratulations, gamers! You whined enough and got them to change it.
Imagine that.
It's like you're literally going, the customer who paid all the money and made this game studio rich.
I hope your head
complained and got their way. The horror.
I know, it's wild, man. That took bootlicking to a whole nother level. I just could not. It's one thing if
Sony's
you bootlicked and then you admit you're wrong.
Dude, Sony's cock was so far down their throat it was coming out their ass.
Really?
It's gonna be a Marvel. It's gonna be a Marvel reference right here. But Corpo is basically just Dr. Doom. Despite the fact that you're getting like fucked 10 ways from Sunday, you still go. But I love Corpo.
Yeah,
I love Corpo. Corpo takes care of me. But that Stockholm hit so goddamn hard with these people. It's ridiculous.
Stockholm, yeah, that's an extreme level of Stockholm.
It's because it's become a religion to people, right? That's the thing. That's why it's been like this. Their takes, their bases, their opinions on these essentially political or moral takes, it's become a religion to them. So once they stand their ground, that's their faith. You're not going to change their mind. And Hypnotic, I know you've probably encountered people like this, but trying to argue with these people, trying to have a rational conversation, it's impossible. Yeah, it's because they're cult members. They are possessed by the spirit of the age, and there is no rationalizing with them. They're absolutely insane. And hey, guess what? That's just what we got to deal with. Demons are real, boys and girls.
Well, we've been seeing like the big problem that I see with people, and I saw this clip from Jordan Peterson today about everyone likes to think of themselves as like Schindler, like saving the Jews and everything like that during World War II. But like, what did we see when the vid hit and in 2020, like like talk about bootlicking, man. Like that's when I saw everybody just like they were ready
get
to
the
sell their
jab,
neighbors
stick
out.
the mask on, man.
for
It's
one
only the
time.
fourth jab.
That just
and now
proved
they're all
you-
complaining about side effects.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so this is nothing new. Like people are pretty awful, and for some reason they like to paint themselves as like these moral saviors, and they're not. They're
That's how
like
they-
some
well,
of the
that's-
worst fucking people possible.
Dude, that's what
That's how they
Peterson
justify
has
their
that issue.
actions.
Yeah, exactly. Peterson has one of his lectures, and it's one of the most poignant lines. It's like if you're in 1930s Germany, I can guarantee basically every single person in this room would be a Nazi.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say too.
Because if you
That-
weren't, you were dead. And so there's no moral virtue in looking at things retrospectively.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's people
like the-
who don't want to be inconvenienced, trying to tell other people, hey, why don't you just do what the big corporations tell you to do? And then we can all go back to doing what we want to do because we don't like being inconvenienced. Like you couldn't even stand up for yourself for an hour, let alone 2 days. And then you're mad at other people for standing up for themselves. And then you had to then eat the egg on your face because you had to admit that, oh, this shit actually works. So, but instead of admitting it works, you just said, well, congratulations, whiny babies. I'm going to go back to supporting Big Daddy Corpo. Like, come on, man. You can't even admit when you're wrong. It's kind of sad. You know, like it took 2 days, bro. 2 days of inconvenience. That's it.
It's their new religion, man. You're not going to dissuade them from it. It's freaking insane.
Yeah, for a bunch of people that hate religion, they are very religious.
Oh, they are faithful. Well, that's how the old saying is.
They got religious aspects, yeah.
We're all designed to believe in something. Everybody's just got to find out what they're going to believe in, and we know what these people believe
You
in.
can believe in what you want, or like me, you could find the right religion. I mean, it's easy.
I didn't acknowledge before, but Levistro came through with another 5 Shagsworth memberships. Thank you, brother. I appreciate
Stop showing
you,
off,
dude.
Levistro.
Yeah, he's
you don't
he's
need to do
pulling
it.
out
You
his
keep
wiener
showing
and
off,
trying to
buddy.
show you.
Actually, no,
Oh.
keep showing off. Support Shags, but I'll just roast you later. Don't worry about it.
And Future Boy for $2 says Tom Brady roast best backlash against woke trash. Dude, I didn't see, I want to sit down and watch that roast because I usually love these roasts, but that whole thing was pretty funny. And then Tony Hinchcliffe just fucking murdered.
Skip the Burton. I call it Burton Ernie, but Burton Tom section. It was for 2 quote unquote comedians. It was the least funny. Kim Kardashian was funnier than them.
Really?
Oh my!
Yeah.
Oh!
Damn.
How was a sentient doll?
I'll be
so
honest.
funnier?
There was maybe 1 or 2 bad ones. Ben Affleck come out. It was bad. Ben Affleck was just on his knees the whole time. Wasn't even doing jokes. He was
Nothing
just
new.
yelling at people.
I hate.
That's
I
weird.
Oh,
hate
that
these people
stupid
so
Tom
much.
Brady roast.
One of
You don't get Chappelle's and Gervais's anymore. You need more of those around.
well,
Well, dude, they had a bunch of roast comedians that were there that they shot to that they never brought up. I couldn't. I didn't get it. Like the only one that was really there like was Jeff Ross.
Yeah. Who's a legend, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, he only works once a year, so he's got to.
There you go.
There's
like the Undertaker.
There's like what's her name? Natasha Leggero, Pete Davidson,
I hate
Chris
Pete Davidson.
D'Elia. Like those guys are monsters on roast. Like those guys are fucking good. I think.
I still hate Pete Davidson.
Yeah, but there was children in that room, so D'Elia couldn't be there.
Yeah. Damn.
Got him.
But Tony Hinchcliffe was like, I saw his little bit at the end. I think the one that was like floating around Twitter. Dude,
Yep.
I've never laughed so hard in my life.
But
Like,
they cut out the part where he made fun of the black lesbian.
Damn. That's not fair.
Speaking of making fun of black lesbians, we didn't do a joke at the beginning of the show, and that's fine.
We did. Do you have one? Do you have a
No.
dad joke? No.
I don't have a dad joke. I just pointed it out, is all.
Okay. Did Kevin Hart killed as the MC? Because see, Kevin Hart's hit or miss. He either like strikes
Kevin
gold
Hart-
or he is just
Kevin Hart
like-
was good. Kevin
Kevin Hart is funny when he does his own shit.
Yeah.
Like when he's given a script or something like that, he can only deliver Kevin Hart as the character. He can't really bring humor to the character in this, if that makes sense. Like otherwise, his stand-ups are always good.
Okay.
Yeah, he was for being on Netflix, he was way more unfiltered than I thought he was going to be, which was good to see.
Right.
Did any of you catch the Cat Williams stand up that just released? Was it yesterday? 2 days ago?
Nope.
No,
I haven't watched it yet. I saw the trailer for it.
I didn't even know he was doing one.
Yeah, it's what is it called? It was like
I don't know.
Netflix, though.
it's called like Mad Woke or something like that. I think. Cat Williams.
Hopefully, he talks a little bit faster than he did when he was on Rogan. It's literally the
Woke.
only Rogan episode that I could watch at 2.5 speed and not miss a word.
Was he just that baked the entire time?
Dude,
or what?
when they started, I swear he'd probably would have smoked a pound. Like it was.
Oh my god!
Nothing wrong with that.
No, not a damn thing.
Freaking
Yeah, but he's only little, so it really would have hit him.
Well, and Joe's got access to the good shit too.
It was just funny because he'd always come up with the weird, crazy things. I can't remember half the things that he said, but it's basically like, there's a Chinese senator made of cheese living on the moon, and Joe would be like, "Yeah, I heard that. That's cool."
Yeah. Well done. So it's basically just smoking sessions. That's all it is.
Yeah. That was probably
Joe-
part of the reason that he went on there.
All right, cool.
Cat's voice
Also-
is too gay. Well, it always has been, but it's not gay enough to go to P. Diddy's house.
All right, this guy. No, it's still
Thank God
gay.
for
What do you
that.
mean? It's mega gay.
That MAGA game, I like it.
All right. This get him out of here. He's gone off the rail. No, but freaking with Sony fucking up and Xbox fucking up, Nintendo, not to be undone, decides it's something really minor but also really stupid, where like they're now getting rid of like being able to post screenshots from your game on social media and stuff like that. They're getting rid of like that whole like integration part of it, like somewhere in the middle of the year. So I put out a quote tweet to it where I basically, obviously metaphors here. I said Sony steals land, Xbox evicts residents, Nintendo, not to be outdone, inconveniences the LARPers. And I think that basically encapsulates the big three right now. They're all stupid in their own capacities.
Oh, for sure. I almost think that Nintendo just like
They
Twitter.
also announced the new console announcement by the end of the year. It's weird that they announce their announcements.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, they do that shit. That's so fucking wild because they'll let you know, hey guys, we're going to talk about it next show. Here's a presentation of us talking about it.
Well, I think Nintendo, like Apple and like X or Twitter, Twix, like they want their own proprietary things. Like they don't like they want you to go to their thing and use just whatever. Like they might have something that might do that, but you have to like use. There's not going to be a third party. Maybe it's a first party thing. I don't know how they would do that. Maybe you could do that between friends. I don't know. But like it
Nintendo
seems
fucks
like they're
up in
trying
that. They fuck up in that aspect because, especially with their video games, because the only way you're playing their games is on their console, and there are plenty of people who don't want to spend another $300 just to play like Tears of the Kingdom, which is just Breath of the Wild Part 2, like or Breath of the Wild, but creative mode rather. But there are people out there that are just like, I'm not about to buy a whole new damn console just to play one game. Just put it on PC and call it what it is. You'll still make your money off of you'll make more money opening that shit up to PC at the bare minimum than you would keeping it specifically on Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think it might be a whole IP thing. They want to I don't know. They're not even really preserving their older games anyway. They're just like re-releasing whatever they choose to, and the games that gamers actually want don't see the light of day until somebody decides to emulate it, and then that person gets sued.
Yet it doesn't hurt them. It's still the number one selling console.
It
doesn't hurt them, so they're not going to change.
It's and the sad fact of the matter is they could sell more if they just opened that shit up to PC. But hey, that Nintendo's gonna Nintendo, right?
What do you think keeps Nintendo going as strong as it is with because I feel like they're
games.
I mean, you think, but is it like, are the games that good, or are they still, because there's a lot of trash on
Yeah.
the Switch.
Nintendo is the place that you go with your friends to have a fun time.
Basically.
You're not. There's no such thing as a Nintendo gamer. There's not a serious Nintendo gamer. You play it to enjoy yourself, essentially.
Basically.
And that's what I think. When the Wii came out, that's what it excelled in, because it was just known as the console you go to have fun on.
Wii Sports and Smash Brothers is like two of the highest grossing games on the Wii.
Mario Kart as well.
Mario Kart, Mario Kart 7, I think it was. Or Mario Kart Wii, one of those. Nonetheless,
I always wanted to be good at Smash Brothers. Like, I just get my ass kicked every time. We used to play, couch co-op, and I would just get wrecked every time. Before I knew it, I was 140%, and then woo.
See what you do, right? What you do is you pick one character and you get your ass kicked left, right, front, and center all day, every day, and then you just get good with that one character. Then, for some fucking reason, every other character becomes easy.
Yeah. And now I'm just too old. I'm too old.
Or you
and
just
slow.
or you just play as Samus, and then you win anyway.
Oh, God.
Nobody
No,
likes a
not them.
Samus player.
Play as Yoshi.
Nobody?
Yoshi's got, like,
Just
one of
like
the most
nobody
annoying-
likes a Pikachu player.
Yeah.
I hate
Pikachu's broken. Yoshi's the worst one because you can do the egg drop out your ass right on the cliff, and they can't bounce back from it. It's got a broken mechanic in there. Same thing with Kirby.
Kirby's also busted. That's why people are like, "Who do you mean?" I'm like, "Link." And they're like, "Oh, ooh, good luck." And I'm like, "Fuck you. I'm good with Link."
Oh man.
Or as my nan would say, isn't that the Zelda guy?
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, nan.
Yeah, the guy Zelda.
I think Nintendo, I think one of the reasons why they've stayed successful for so long is the majority of the time, outside of a few misses, they generally put out a solid system. It's not overly flashy, doesn't cost you as much as a lot of the others. And their games, they've got, you're right, there's a lot of crap out there, but also they're solid IPs. Like, they knock them out of the park pretty much like every time.
Yeah. Metroid Dread was some fire.
See, and that's what I'm saying. And then, like, honestly, and like, I know there's criticisms of Breath of the Wild and, and Tears of the Kingdom and stuff like that, but honestly, those games still knocked it out of the park. I mean, what was the last bad Zelda game? What was the last bad Mario game? Right. Okay. How many years has that
Mario
been now?
2?
Yeah, Skyward Sword was like 2012, I think, something like that.
Yeah. And so, and then before that, what was the last bad one before that? Was there one? Could you even make an argument for one? I guess
Zelda 2.
Could. Yeah. Okay. So what are we talking about? The Nintendo?
Like 86?
Yeah, the Nintendo days. So I think that's really they take the time that they need to with their champion IPs. Yeah, they make a bunch of party games that are stupid and simple and easy, but they make their priorities franchises, the ones, those IPs that they have a death grip on and they will not let anybody touch. They do the right thing. They take their time, they spend years developing it, and they make sure it's a good quality product before it goes out to everybody. I mean, you don't generally need a patch update. Well, I guess you I did need a Tears of the Wild patch update on the first day.
Tears of the Wild, Breath of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Wild?
Yeah,
well, I mean, it doesn't,
Breath of the Kingdom.
It doesn't hurt. They also
trash.
got like $750 million from a movie as well, so that kind of helps there.
This is my third stream today. Okay, like, be gentle.
No,
maybe not.
So just to kind of put it into perspective for a lot of people, Breath of the Wild is probably the only Nintendo game that has ever gotten Game of the Year.
Wow, that's crazy to think about.
And that was on the Switch's release year too. They're just like, that shit dropped, and everybody's like, this right here is definitely the move.
Yeah, and I think to go back to what you were saying about the IPs that that Nintendo has, like they're real money makers. Mario, Pokemon,
Zelda, Smash Brothers.
Those like they're hanging on to those. They're hanging on to that, and like they have. There's nothing new to make. Mario Wonder was pretty good, but it's still sort of just coasting on what's been great. I think Odyssey is probably the best Mario game that's come out in the past.
But that's
decade.
how they stay alive, though, Shags. Like,
yeah.
Nintendo is not trying to expand. Like, Nintendo knows its place, and Nintendo knows that it's cornered its own portion of the market. That honestly, nobody's really going to pierce it. They can survive on that corner of the market, and yeah, they might expand a little bit here and there. Maybe hosting a third-party title on their console, and it'll be the worst version of whatever of that game is. But they can still do it. They did it with Hogwarts Legacy and whatnot. But
it took a year and a half.
Nintendo,
MK11 ran like ass on the Switch, bro.
Did you see the graphic glitches, bro? Like
Oh,
you had
so
their
good.
eyeballs popping out. It was just weird. Anyway,
That was horrendous.
but the point I'm trying to
Melina
make,
looked awesome.
the point I'm
it was only like a third of the actual game, and it still ran like ass.
I couldn't believe they
Yo.
made her look creepier, but they somehow made Melina look creepier, and it's because she was so pixelated. But anyway, Nintendo is that company is going to keep giving you what you want, right? So long as people keep paying for it, they're going to keep delivering, and they know that no matter how much PlayStation would try to mimic the success of Nintendo with everything they might come up with, right? They did it with the Move Sticks or whatever, and they tried to the Joy-Cons. Now they're doing with the portable and all that stuff. Like, no matter what, it doesn't matter. Like, you could try to mimic the success of Nintendo, but you'll never have that particular success because you don't have the IPs that make it successful. You know, like Zelda, Pokemon, Mario. This shit that's been selling for 40 years. Like or 30 years, whatever. Like, they know that's what people want, and people will keep going back to Nintendo to buy that. Mario Party, Super Smash Brothers. Like, it also has that I don't know if I want to say community aspect, but like, it has those titles. Then they know that it's like the party games, right? They know people are going to get together, play them, have a good time. Like, they know they got that market, man. There's no reason for them to do shit that PlayStation and Xbox is doing. PlayStation and Xbox are doing what they're doing because they can't be Nintendo. That's how this whole thing started in the first place, right? They know they can't be Nintendo, so they got to be something different. And yeah, they are more, I don't know if I want to call them more mainstream because Nintendo sells a lot of consoles, right? But they're more talked about, I would say. Nintendo is just as popular, but it's sort of in the shadows where everybody just kind of knows what Nintendo is. And oh, the next Switch is out. Great. Can't wait to play the next Mario game. You know, nobody's going to Switch and is like, yeah, I can't wait to play Hogwarts Legacy at the worst version possible. Nobody's saying that. But
how many Pokemon games were there that were basically identical until they decided to do a change?
Yeah.
Change it. Like, that's what people wanted.
Well,
exactly.
I think it's an age thing too. Like,
Pokemon is oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, like, I think it's an age thing too. Like, Nintendo realizes they don't need to, one, because the IPs that they have that are super successful always sell, but they will also sell the new generations because the people who grew up with the NES, SNES, and all the way up are now giving their kids the Switch.
They have the nostalgia,
but they can play everything.
Fuck you! I'm playing this shit for myself.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, but now they have a whole another generation that can play every single game at its best version whenever they want. Like, my son has pretty much beat every single Mario game, I think, except for Sunshine.
Great game, by the way.
Do it.
Yeah, like, but I want to get it for him so he can play it because he's like, he actually told me, he's like, I want to play Super Mario Sunshine. He hasn't played Galaxy either. We need to play Galaxy.
Yeah, I was about to say, if he Galaxy and Galaxy 2.
The first time I played Galaxy, it made me nauseous.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. But
I couldn't believe how realistic the graphics were.
Oh, stop it, you.
Well, and that's my favorite part about Nintendo, right? They're not striving to conquer the gaming world. Like Hypnotic was saying, they know their place and they're happy in it. And that's one of the things that makes Nintendo so different is they're like, look, we don't need some fancy ass 5,000 megabit 12 terabyte for a thing for a console. We play Super Mario games. You know what I mean? We play Zelda games. We're not doing these crazy realistic graphics and stuff like that. We understand we live in a cartoon world and we're happy there. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And legitimately, they're the only actual gaming company. Every other company that has consoles out revolve on everything else. They're 100% into games. That's the point.
Well, it's not even that too. Think about it. Microsoft owns Xbox. Microsoft isn't a gaming company. Microsoft is a computer technologies company. Same thing with Sony. Sony makes TVs and electronics. So it's like that's the difference with Nintendo. Nintendo concentrates on two things: consoles and games. That's it.
Yep.
Except for on the Wii when they tried to implement Netflix and it went nowhere, and they were like, "All right, you know what? Fuck that."
And
I think you
Pokemon
can still get Netflix on the Switch.
Pokemon is a physical manifestation of what it means to be Nintendo in the sense that Pokemon has been doing the same shit, giving the same thing over and over with a little bit of graphical upgrades here and there, but nobody cares about that. It's the same thing It's the same formula. Let's do another 151 Pokemon. Let's do the same 3 legendary setup. Let's just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And people eat it up, man. And it doesn't matter. Like, I view it like this, right? So Nintendo, basically, they came in, they nuked a certain area of the market, right? And they put up a force field. And every 5 years or so, they just keep reinforcing that same force field that nobody's going to penetrate because they have that section. That's their section. That's their market. And you got to imagine Nintendo. You know what pisses me off about Nintendo? So I'm a big Nintendo fan. At least I was anyway. And I'll be real with you. I'm very cheap. Okay. I'm very, very cheap. And
Nothing wrong with that.
When it comes to Nintendo, it drives me up a fucking wall that I can't even get the previous Pokemon game at a sale. Like, the most I'm gonna get is $5 off at most. It drives me insane. I cannot do it. When I go and I look and I go to, you know, stores or whatever, and I look at these games and I see PS5 game, whatever came out 3 weeks ago, it's on sale, 25% off, whatever, 30% off. I'm like, all right, cool, that's pretty decent. You know, I'll be more willing to explore. But dude, man, it doesn't matter how long I wait.
$55
maximum price.
People still buy it. That's
my point.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's
Nintendo
my
doesn't
point.
care because
They
keep
know.
on buying it.
They know that they can get away with that, and that's nothing wrong. Hey, listen, nothing wrong against them. It's just me being cheap. You know, they don't give a fuck. But that's fine.
That's the consumer way. Be cheap.
I'm gonna be cheap. That's why I haven't bought the games. But the thing is, I remember. I'll tell you a really fast story. I remember going to GameStop years ago. I think this was Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'm trying to remember which one came out after that.
After which one?
That was Legends Arceus, and then they put out
well, yeah.
No, what was the next mainstay game that came out recently?
Sword and Shield. Oh, there's a newer one.
You mean Scarlet and Violet?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scarlet.
Man, I wish someone would do a video on that.
Did that come after Sword and Shield?
Yes, that came after.
Yeah, that one came out after Sword and Shield, but then they also put out like remakes between those two.
So the remakes. So I remember something came out after Sword and Shield, and I went to GameStop, and I was like, "Hey man, can I? How much is the previous Pokemon game, Sword and Shield? Just out of curiosity." And the guy said, "Yeah, we actually have them. They're discounted right now because the new games came out. These are $49.99 or something like that." I'm like, "But what's the original price of the other
60.
one?" It's like $59.99.
He said $50.
So I'm like, wait, so this game is how many years old? And you're like, yeah, no, it's $49.99. And I was like, great, is that the new one? No, it's the used one. So how much is the new one?
Wow.
The new one was $54.99. So it was $5 cheaper than the just to
put it into a better perspective, right? Way back in like 2011, I want to say, somewhere around there, they had Pokemon Diamond and Pearl pre-owned for like, I shit you not, $45 fucking dollars. The new game was $40.
Oh, I don't doubt that. It's because you couldn't get the new game, right?
No, you could get the new game, but
why was the used one higher?
I don't know. I do not fucking know. That was just the prices they set.
That's weird.
Like, it just is. I was like, why?
That's so weird.
It is.
Normally they do that when you can't get the new game. Like if it's a hot game and it's hard to come by, they usually bump the used game price.
See, now me personally,
sorry guys, I gotta take off.
All right.
Be good, dude.
See you, Grant.
Have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too, buddy. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Congrats on all your success, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
See you later.
Later, dude.
Night, Grant.
But,
subscribe to Mr. Grant Gregory.
One of the things that kind of like pisses me off with with Nintendo, well, not necessarily Nintendo, but with certain companies and stuff like that, is they know that they can probably, it makes no sense for them to not put their games in a collection. Like Capcom did that with the Mega Man Battle Network collection. I scooped that shit up in a heartbeat. It's one of my favorite franchises on Game Boy Advance. And that's money back in their pocket because that's like, that's some first party shit. Like that's not, that's first party. That's not going through that's not like an Amazon sale or a yard sale or anything like that. That's money in their pocket. Meanwhile, Game Freak is like, all right, all those games that you really like, we're not going to help you out with those. We're going to give you Scarlet and Violet. It's going to have a lot of graphical errors. It's going to have a lot of processing issues and stuff like that. The online infrastructure is going to be shit. Also, it's going to run like it's live all the time, even when you're offline. So that means everything is happening in real time. So those raids you do offline, yeah, timer's still going to be counting down because fuck you. It's fine. You won't be able to play the older games though. It's like, why don't you just give me the games that were good? That's what I'm going to stop before I go on another fucking Pokemon rant. You done got me started, Hypnotic.
Yeah, man.
The online
Pokemon.
play for like the new Pokemon is ass. Like, it's not good because that's something I feel would be like really like in the modern day, like right now, like that seems like it'd be really fun to get in there.
I wouldn't know. I can't afford it.
They're head to head. They're co-op stuff. That shit that runs relatively fine. But when you're doing raids, that's the co-op stuff. Like on Sword and Shield, they had it down to a science. It's like everybody selects their attacks. You have like 45 seconds to select your attack, and then all the attacks happen in one like battle sequence, as opposed to everything running on a timer. And now the game has to process, oh, you're attacking, and you, and you, and you. And then like the enemy has to attack. And it's like, it's doing all that stuff while counting down a timer, which means you're waiting like 14, 15 seconds just for like your shit to, just for your attack to happen. So you could queue up another attack. And by that time, like the fucking enemy's already won. He's still got too much health. It's stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, I guess I mean, Xbox, PlayStation has that, and PC has online play dialed in. Nintendo's not known for its online multiplayer.
Nintendo struggles. Yeah,
I don't go. I wouldn't go to Nintendo for a multiplayer experience. I feel like if you're going to Nintendo, it's for a very specific experience. It's kind of like the same people who focus on retro gaming. You're going to that for a very particular experience. Like, you're not going to go for the generalized experience playing Nintendo. If you are, then either that's all you can afford, which is fine, nothing wrong with that, or you just, maybe you're retarded. I have no idea. It's just you don't want to go.
Gamers.
You don't want to go.
Mario Kart Mondays, baby.
But see, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Because that's a party game. You know, party game, party stream. That's fine.
Yeah,
but
the competitive shit is where you need to get that, clean that shit up.
You don't go for that experience. I think the only game on Switch that you go for a multiplayer experience is probably Smash. That's it. That's the only one that I could think of that you genuinely do. I mean, Mario Kart maybe, but I mean, like on a grand scale, it's probably going to be Smash. That's basically it.
They're not running Mario Kart tournaments at Evo.
Somebody says Splatoon 3, maybe. I mean, I can't afford it.
Splatoon is so goddamn dead.
You can get cheap.
Yeah, it's a dead game, and you're probably going to charge another $49.99 for it. So it's like,
of course. Oh, you know that game that dropped like a decade and a half ago that nobody's playing anymore? Full price. It's pre-owned. I don't care.
Yep, it's so true.
My it's funny. The only games that my son likes are like Mario ones, and those are definitely the most expensive. He's into Mario Maker right now. That's what he likes. Super Mario Maker 2.
I like that game.
But yeah, no, the games, every time I go in like the used section, like I'll go at GameStop. He likes to go down there, so I'll go there and we'll look at them. I'm like, dude, these games are so expensive. Like you don't have enough money to buy this, because he goes in there with like a 20 or something like that. You can't get anything for that here. You're not gonna.
It's true, man. Game. But you have to think of it from this way too. The reason why it's so expensive is because Nintendo knows their market, and they know that not only will people pay for it for modern gaming, right? But people will pay for it just because they have a massive collector community in Nintendo. And a lot of people are going to go for every single Switch game, because they know, like, eventually, after a few years, those games are going to be worth more money. And some people just want to complete their collections, but realistically, like, they know it's going to be worth money. Look at how much money they're worth now for some of the older Nintendo games. Not even that old. Even the Wii games. Some of the Wii games are insanely expensive.
Wii Sports, one of the game that came with the console is one of the most expensive games on the market.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, how the fuck did that happen? And it just, it's insane, man. So that's what they do, and they know that. So again, it's all about knowing your market, right? And I feel like for Nintendo, I think they focus more on making money from the games more than the other consoles do.
Correct.
Because the other consoles license out the games more. They have third party titles like crazy. You know what I mean? I think that with Nintendo, it's more about the inner club of Nintendo games. Like, they know they're going to maximize profits from their games that they make themselves. so they're gonna push it out there and keep it at full price, and people pay for it. So that's the gist of it.
The sad fact of the matter that really, and it still pisses me off to this day, is their only competition screwed themselves out of like competition in Sega.
Sega?
Yeah, Sega has Sonic,
yeah.
Streets of Rage, Altered Beast, Virtua Cop, what is it, Jet Set Radio? So many IPs under
Rage, yeah.
Fantasy Star, Bayonetta's under them, Vanquish. They could have had all of that under whatever consoles would have came after Dreamcast, but they somehow fucked themselves up.
Well,
Sega could have been the Xbox to Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like Sony and Xbox. They could have been. It could have been those two fighting it out, because Sega would not have fought most likely Sony and Xbox. Just like Sony and Xbox don't fight Nintendo right now. So I think those two definitely could have had something, but Sega bowed out real quick.
Well, and I think it didn't help too that the Dreamcast was kind of ahead of its time. I mean, I had a buddy of mine who had one in high school in like 04 and was playing online with it. So it's like that thing was way ahead of the curve on everybody. And it was just, I think the technology was just too fast, too soon, and people just didn't understand it or get with it. And also, I don't think they didn't have a lot of great games, I don't think, on the Dreamcast either. That probably didn't help anything.
Not at first.
I mean, they definitely.
And by the
had,
time they did, it was too late.
Right, because if you're going to launch a console, you got to have a good game to launch it with. You know, that's why Nintendo always launches the new consoles with like a Zelda game.
Not anymore. You look at Xbox, where they gave us Halo like 4 years after the console.
Look at PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 had nothing for like how many years?
Until entire
eventually
lifetime.
Finally, I think only up till recently.
I think the only reason they're actually getting away with it now is because they're making games specifically for PS5 as opposed to trying to
that's the only reason.
Yeah, the beginning of PS5 was porting to like PS4 games to as next gen games. I think Ghost of Tsushima was like its real first like that, and God of War were like their big, and PS4 was
PS4, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, the first God of War.
They got ported
the first
over
God of War was on
PS4.
The first God of War was on PS3.
The first
the
newest one?
The next, like the new one.
Yeah, you talking about the new ones. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I said.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was on PS4 because I remember the PS4 launch with like Watch Dogs, and they had that on PS3 and PS4. And that was back in like 2012 or some shit.
Yeah.
But
the Angry Badger came through with $10. Thank you, sir. Hail Hypnotic, the Bigot Army. Blessing streams with your bigotry supreme.
Yeah, that's
Shout
bars.
out, Badger.
Amen.
That's bars.
Appreciate
But
it.
like Sony didn't have an actual solid PS5 IP until like the most recent games, and that's only because they stopped making the games for PS4.
Yeah, because I never bought I still have my PlayStation 4. I never bought a PS5 because I didn't see any reason to, and now I do everything on PC anyway. So
My lady has a PS5, so I'm good.
Shout out to Alec Baldwin's finger. God bless that man. I love you.
PC has always been my go-to if I can get away with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's always if there's a game that comes out on consoles and PC, I'm just gonna buy the PC version. It's just how I am.
Demon Souls was their like launch title, like their big launch title, which is just a remake.
Oh, it's just a remake. Yeah, I don't count remakes.
It's a remake of their previous launch title.
Right.
Ghost of Tsushima's director's cut was a PS5 exclusive, but that's just additional.
I don't count remakes.
Yeah, it's a fucking expansion.
Yeah, God of War Ragnarok was a PS5 exclusive.
There you go.
Gran Turismo 7.
Gran Turismo don't count.
Horizon Forbidden West was a PS5 exclusive.
That's fine.
So they made her ugly.
They actually did a box combo with that one too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Amarada has the box combo.
Yeah.
Oh no, she doesn't have the box combo. She just got the collector's edition. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
But those are the newer. Like some of these are just. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, there's like a lot of the games.
Returnal was a PS5 exclusive, which is if
Space
you're into
Karen?
roguelikes, it's so good.
Space Karen.
I don't know if she's a Karen, but yes, she is a space woman. Yes.
People deemed it
Yes.
Space Karen. There was so like I hate this generation of gaming because most of the games exist on Nintendo, and that's not. I don't hate Nintendo because of it. I just hate that there's so much BS, especially from AAA. Like AAA is now putting out shovelware. Like, what the hell is going on? Why are the indies kicking your ass?
Good. You want to know what it is? This is my theory on it. These companies have cut so many jobs. A lot of these AAA companies have cut so many jobs because they're failing as developers and making good games, that all the people who are worth their weight are on independent studios making good independent games that people are playing, or they're in development right now. There's so many good independent games right now. Like, there's good AAA games that come out, but
Shout out
for
to
every
Paolo.
like good AAA, there's a dozen there's like a dozen indie games that are solid, and they're being made by 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Like, those are the people we gotta support, man. Just like indie creators on these platforms.
You know what it is, man? Like, it's a cycle, right? So you see this happen in so many different examples, but you'll have people that are passionate about gaming, right? And then they'll get together and they will create an indie studio where they're going to make a baby out of passion and make a game or whatever. Then what ends up happening is the game ends up becoming very successful, and said indie studio grows to the point where it ends up getting corporatized. Maybe it goes from private to public, and then once it goes public, then you're going to have investors involved, and then that's when things get corporate and the passion starts to dwindle, and then you just get a corporatized AAA studio that eventually will die and be replaced by the same exact thing that started in the first place, which is a indie studio that's built from passion. You know, you saw this happen with Blizzard. You know, Mark Kern talked about this a lot. That and even before he talked about it, you could see it. I mean, the people who were behind Blizzard, if you know their history, you know why they ended up doing what they were doing. And the story behind World of Warcraft, it's amazing. Like, these guys are just literally freaking nerds. They got together. They happen to have a couple of skills, and they got it all together, made it happen. Who was it? It was Jeff Kaplan that was invited just because of what he did, you know, on an EverQuest server. You know, it's insane, but it's people who are passionate. And then what ended up happening was Blizzard became that company that was for the players. They made games that could never do any wrong. And they were standing by their product, and they always said it'll come out when it's ready. They were famous for taking forever, but when it came out, it was good and it was a banger, and everybody knew that. Then what happened? Activision bought them out, or combined with them, and then it became corporatized. And then now look at them. They have to cancel BlizzCon because they can't even fill BlizzCon most likely. So it happens to all these companies, man. And I think what we're seeing now is it's you know, with social media especially, it's much easier to see this now. I think that, you know, the rise and fall of companies was something that's happened since the dawn of time, but, you know, you're seeing it now. You know, people are talking about it more. YouTubers are more active now. They're more of the former journalism these days, and you're seeing things that have been happening since the beginning. But now it seems like it's happening more, but it's not, man. These game companies, they start from passion, they become corporatized, they die off, and it's a cycle. You know, and that's what we're seeing.
Well, we see the same thing happening in the comic book industry too now, because we've got all kinds of stuff like that. And then there was another one of the game studios too that did that. There was a new one that just set up in London. That's a bunch of old like industry heads that were like, yeah, we're going to concentrate on, you know, games that we're really passionate about, but we're also only going to hire like industry, and we're either going to hire up and coming talent or industry veterans. And it's like, then you see the same thing in the independent comics sphere. You see the comics books thing doing that way. You see industry legends going out there and doing their own thing, or getting involved with independent creators like the Rippaverse and like all of that. And, you know, with Fund My Comic and all kinds of places like that. And it's funny to see that, because I think we're seeing that across the board culturally now. I think you're starting to finally see things that have gotten too big to fail. They've gotten too big for their britches, and they're finally starting to fall down. You see it throughout Hollywood, right? With Hollywood now having to consolidate everything because they're all so broke. None of them can afford anything on their own anymore. And as that happens, you get more independent studios out all over the country, you know, that are actually pushing for that kind of thing. And it's great to see, because we're going to get way better content once all of this stuff is decentralized. So
I hope so.
It'll be a bright, shiny new age. It will be.
I want to make sure I hit this. Future Boy for another 2 says Hypno is just a guest. Hail Shags. Yeah, man.
Shout out Future Boy.
No, shout out Future Boy. Give no credit to Shags though. He's a piece of shit.
100%.
You can't say that I'm the guest.
Piece of dog.
Oh, yes, you can.
Oh no, you get your licks too. No Diddy.
But yes, giggity.
I try to relax when I'm on other people's streams and just take it easy because I'm constantly yelling on mine. So it feels nice to just be able to chill. And
it's funny. That's how I am on my my videos. Like when I did the videos, at least, like I have no problem going the fuck off. Like monetization be damned. I'm here to make people laugh and entertain them and shit like that. I don't want to do that to somebody else's channel because I don't care about the money that's being made, but they do.
Right.
Well, for me, you know, I love going on other people's things because then I can, like, I just want to chill and like I'll go at the host pace. You know what I mean? I'll go at their pace. They want to ask me a ton of questions. Cool. If they just want to chill and relax, even better. Because when
Jesse,
you do this,
fucking addiction. It's just charging. He's still smoking it.
Well, you know, I don't do it as much as you, but you know, even I do 3 streams a week. People are like, oh man, you do this a lot. I'm like, dude, do you see some of these other YouTubers? They're like every day, like 3,
Bro.
like
7 days a week.
Quartering pushes out 18 videos a day and streams like 14 times a week.
Right.
Dude, he's my inspiration.
I think the only difference between me and most other, I mean, besides Jesse here, but like I got a family, so there's that part of it that I work a full-time job and then I do this at night. So I guess with that I do it a lot, but like I'm like, man, there's people out here who do this all the time. Like I'm not busy. Just having fun.
Well, I didn't do it all the time until I was able to. You know what I mean? Like I like I said before I became full time, I was releasing 2 videos a day every day, streaming once a week on SNH. That was it. You know, and I was editing my own videos too, so doing my own thumbnails and everything like that. And I did it with the intention of eventually, you know, maybe it will get to a full time thing, and you know, thankfully for the last 3 months it has been. So we'll see how it continues.
Only the last 3 months have been full time for you doing YouTube?
Yeah, only the last 3 months. You'll notice it because that's when I started doing 3 videos a day, and that's when I started streaming every day.
True.
So, yeah, like before then I wasn't streaming every day. That's when I wasn't full time. People swear I was full time because of my upload schedule. I was like, nah, bro, it's not at all. I would work fucking 12, 14 hours a day and come home at night,
put on the mask.
film, upload, title tag, thumbnail. Like, that's it.
And so you just gave your notice at work, and you're like, I'm just staying home. I'm gonna do my thing. And
yeah, I basically, like, the crazy thing is, like, I'm only making half probably what I used to, but the thing is, you know, like I said, I'm cheap, so you know, I don't need to make as much, and also too, you got to factor in the cost of going to work every day, traveling, driving, mileage, stuff like that. So that all adds up, and then before you know it, you actually don't have to make as much in order to be able to do this. And then I just so happen to just, I guess, enable maximum grifter mode. I really don't know. And then the channel just has just been exploding on the streams. You know, my viewers take care of me. They're great, and I appreciate them. So
do you think it was because I'm a live streamer. I'm not a video maker, but I've thought like, you know, it's probably worth, and maybe I should be doing the video.
I'll tell you flat out, you got to do both to be maximum successful.
Yeah,
just flat out. That's what it is. Like, you have to.
That's the hard part, man. Is like I'm starting to work with someone on getting, like, basically taking my live streams and chopping those up into like the clips, basically into my videos. Because I literally legitimately no time to like script out, write, you know, and then shoot, edit a video and upload it. If I did, I would, but it'll probably be clips because I mean, you've seen, I've done more interviews in the past couple months than I had in the previous 6. And then, like, that's what I want to do. I want to talk to people. I want to get good people on to have one-on-one conversations with, especially people like, you know, I reached out to Mercante like twice just to see, like, hey,
good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I never even got a response. I've reached out to other people in similar fashion saying like, hey, like, I have nothing to do with this. Like, I would love to talk to you in a very unbiased approach, like kind of get your story, like maybe show people who you are as a human, not as like a internet personality. And
they more than likely
nothing.
They more than likely will not respond, even if you're on their side.
Yeah,
no, it's
like,
crazy.
That's just how they are. And if they do like the whole public thing, like when Gothix tried to talk to, I think it was Gothix tried to talk to Khalif Adams, that weird ass dude, and he was like, It was either him or Mighty Keith, one of the two. It was like my starting. It was Keith. It was Keith.
No, it was Khalif Adams, I think, because I sent him an email too. He actually got back to me and said he got back to me and said pretty much the same thing that she posted. I'll send you my rate card, and my people will reach out to you next week with my schedule. He never reached back out and never sent me his rate card. But
it was Mighty Queef. My bad, I meant to call him that. Mighty Queef is what like he was talking with Gothic. He and Gothics are back and forth, and she said, we get on the show and we could rap about this. And he said my starting price or my rate or something like that is like 1,000 per hour or something like that, or 10,000, 15,000.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, bro, we ain't even take your ass seriously. Shut up. Yeah. Shut your ass up.
If you need to make money in order to talk about your points, that's just kind of ridiculous,
That's what I call grifting.
Yeah. And it goes to show the disingenuous nature of it all, right? Because you got people like Alyssa Mercante who'll be the first one to say, well, if I ever took it upon myself to have a conversation with these chuds, you just know they wouldn't last very long. Well, I mean, listen, you got a lot of chuds asking you to have a conversation. Right. You keep saying no to all of them. So, I mean, after a certain point, you kind of have to admit you don't want to have it, and they don't want to have it. They don't want their worldview challenged. They don't want anybody to question any of their ideology. It's either just accept or move on. And that's what they're used to. They're surrounded. Think about this. They're surrounded by people who they work with all the time, who all think the same exact way. They speak the same way. They act the same way. There is no diversity of thought anywhere in Kotaku. So why would you think that this person in their free time outside of paid hours would want to go into some place that's going to think differently from them? They get paid to all think the same, so they're not going to do it for free. They're not going to want to go somewhere for free and get their worldview challenged, no matter how much they want to say they will on streams that, by the way, all think the same. Like when you have Alyssa Mercante going on Khalif Adams stream, you got it going on Blurred stream, right? You got what other? You got it going on that roid raging muscle big daddy. I don't know what his name is. John Jack J whatever. The guy who replied, guys, for Alyssa that I made fun of tonight. You got her going on his stream. So you got her going on all these streams of men who which is interesting because she has a tattoo that says, all men are the enemy. But anyway, you got her going on all these guys stream who all think the same exact way. And yet you've been invited to many different streams of people who will talk to you professionally too, man. It's not just like people are going to roast you. You know what I mean? Some channels, I was going to say some channels might, myself might be one of them, but people like side scrollers or the fuck else, even the quartering too. Like he won't do that. You know what I mean? Quartering's the kind of guy who he goes hard in videos, but in live streams, he's kind of like a puppy. He's going to kind of.
Quartering did a fucking interview with Dark Side Phil of all people, and he let DSP tell all of the story wrong.
Yeah. But that's my thing. It's a very comfortable setting. Like if you're someone who thinks ideologically different, then that's probably the place you would want to start off going. You're not going to start off going to a Geeks and Gamers panel stream or something like that, or even my panel stream, or even this. Like you probably, although I think Shags would be fairly even with her, but still, it's not. They have a perception of everybody involved, and they don't like this circle. This circle is a very loud circle with a lot of influence, and they don't want to admit that. They know that the circle has a lot of influence. I mean, for God's sakes, you got fucking Gary going on Fox News of all places. Like this is serious shit. You know what I mean? It's the equivalent of someone from that particular side of the aisle going on CNN, and they're more likely to go on CNN with 10,000 subs and not needing that many subs to go on, because let's be real, as long as you speak the right narrative, you're accepted. But the point is, like, it's a big deal, and they know that they have to come with an A game, and they don't have an A game. They don't have an A argument, and it is going to fall apart really quick. And I'll finish with this, like the age-old saying, right? Everybody's got a plan. Everybody's got an idea and a plan of what they're going to do, and then you get punched in the face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then now you got to figure out what you're going to do, right?
Yeah.
And not a lot of people can react on their feet. Not a lot of people have that gift of the gab to be able to talk and counter and everything like that. I learned that from my last profession, thankfully. But not a lot of people can.
Life will kick your ass.
Yeah, not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can just be quick with it. You know, think on their feet.
Well, the people who I think really believe what they say and who have a real moral framework and values, I think can. But I think a lot of these people who like like me especially want to like reach across the aisle and talk to them about what's going on. The reason they can't is because even if I asked a question that sort of challenged that worldview, they don't really believe it. So they think, oh my God, why is he saying this? I don't know what to say, because you don't even believe what you're saying on the internet. So
it's like they approach everything in defensive mode is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the even like the slightest breeze of criticism turns you into their enemy.
Yep. It's all assumptions. That's what it is. I mean, to be fair, like we kind of do it too. Like we see multicolored hair, nose ring, tattoos, Palestine flag in the bio, pronouns in the bio, and we think automatic psychopath. Are we right most of the time? Yes.
Yeah.
But like every once in a blue moon, you might be shocked that maybe some of them can actually think for themselves. They just happen to think like a psychopath. That's all. But you know, we do it too. And so they're gonna do it. They're gonna assume, oh, this person is streaming with XYZ person or is talking about how they don't like pronouns or whatever. Oh, automatic alt-right Nazi. That's it. That I'm not gonna talk to them. I need to protect my echo chamber. Like that's how they are, man. They'll be the first ones to accuse you of being in an echo chamber, but meanwhile, they will avoid a conversation at any point given time.
Yeah, man. It's pretty pathetic to watch it all happen, because, I mean, these were, you know, growing up, these are a lot of like publications that I would, you know, read, you know, online to start. And now it's just like, I can't trust a word anyone says. I mean, from many different directions, whether it's, you know, mainstream news, newspaper, which are all.
I think the more annoying part of all of this, though, is like these people who you either keep outside, like the people in these echo chambers, you keep yourself from like having conversations with them or something like that, because they have like the bright color hair, the flags and pronouns and shit like that. Yeah. At one point in time, you know, when you were younger, you could hold a whole ass conversation with these people because you had common interests. And now, because one person votes for Trump, or one person doesn't like politics in general, just wants the government to go away or something like that, somebody didn't get the jab or something like that, now all of a sudden you're public enemy number one to people you grew up with. It's the dumbest shit in my opinion. It's like you should be able to separate. At one point in time, you could separate your politics from, like, you know, your personability. Like you used to be able to have, if that's a word at least, you could have these conversations with people. You just talk about sports or something like that, like the Jeopardy episode from last night, and how this moron couldn't figure out the question or something like that. And now you can't, because the moment you have a disagreement, you're put on a fucking list. It's stupid.
Wait, recall? Did they recall one of the? One of the folks?
Can't remember about a recall, but I know AstraZeneca is getting a lawsuit slapped against them for their side effects. They're very, very minor, very, very, very minor, but possible side effect of death. That's something that's definitely prevalent.
The U.S. healthcare system is one of the most despicable things I've ever come across, as far as like what is allowed to do, like essentially trick people into taking medication that is likely more harmful than what they even like have. Like it's
young as hell.
Let's not put that on the medical, the American medical industry, because that all falls on the FDA. That falls on the government. Our medical industry in the United States is responsible for some of the most advanced, and actually the most the most advancements in medical science worldwide. Like there is bar no country that comes even close to holding a candle to us. But it's the government.
40 nowadays.
I didn't hear what.
I said that's why we can make it to 40 nowadays.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. But it's
back
like,
in the
but
day, we were considered old.
right. But that's the thing is the FDA are the ones that do that, and we've seen how corrupt the FDA has been over the last few years with all of the kind of crazy statements that have been put out, a lot of the votes that they have made on certain products. Like, it's been absolutely insane. Like, I remember watching a thing on John Stossel like probably 15, 20 years ago about why the FDA should be disbanded and why it shouldn't exist. And like, I was like, that all makes sense to me. And then now, after I saw what happened the last few years, I'm like, we should have done that 10 years ago because he saw what was coming.
Yep.
Yeah. And the FDA is a pretty wild industry because, I mean, I've been following a couple independent like health people like on Instagram, and they'll talk about like, you know, just like it's just different ways to eat, like eat high protein, eat this, eat that, like go outside, go for a walk every day. Like, and if your doctor is telling you otherwise, like, don't listen to them. Like, these people want you sick. Your doctor's
there for a fucking paycheck. They're a death merchant.
They want a permanent patient.
That being said, I have a doctor's appointment in the morning.
Yay! So excited.
No, the fuck I'm not. It's just a checkup. It's the shit that pisses me off. I'm fine. Watch me go in there and find out I got like a low like red cell count or some shit like that.
We're gonna get
what have you been eating? Food, apparently.
Wasn't the FDA created to make sure food was labeled correctly, like difference between canned fruit, salad, and fruit cocktail? Yeah, the problem is now it's a whole different entity. That's why a lot of it can be disbanded. Like, it's just a lot like the Department of Education. The Department of Education is a massive waste of taxpayer dollars.
It's literally if you look at the chart from when the national education system was implemented, that the Department of Education was implemented in like the I think it was like the 60s. If you look at how much money they've spent since it was implemented versus what effect it has actually had as far as like raising test scores and stuff like that.
Oh, kids are dumb as fuck now.
Oh yeah, it's like 2% versus the amount of money they've spent is like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars they've spent. You know, and it's like,
so much fucking money went into making kids stupid and piss
dude,
me
if
off.
that's not an excuse to just like close the building, fire everyone, burn it all down, and salt the earth and put out a memorial as to why we don't do this, I don't know what else is.
Real quick, shout out to the chat for being awesome for all the super chat or the super chats and membership gifts tonight, but also 51 likes on the stream, which is really great for us. So thank you so much, guys, for that.
I'm clapping. You can't see it though.
I can't say like I think the weird part about the FDA stuff and all that is like they're trying to make food cheaper and like easier to access, but in the meantime they are making it way more unhealthy for you to eat. Like all the ingredients in there to make it, like there was a thing about how parents were saying like, oh, we used to eat McDonald's all the time. Like, it's okay for kids to eat McDonald's. Like, we used to eat it. We're fine. But the lady was saying it used to be like vegetable oil, beef tallow, and that was it. And then fries. Like, that was the ingredients. Yeah. Now it's like 100 ingredients to make it taste like that. So like all this shit that's in your food is not good for you. So like people just need to like eat more wholesome. Like, eat whole foods. Don't eat all this fucking processed garbage.
It's cost and time.
Feel better. Well, that's the other part of it is like they are more expensive a lot of times. You know, it also depends on where you are, and it sucks, man.
I mean,
yeah, it's all cost and time. Like it's something where corporations have realized that they can up production if they use certain chemicals. They can get more out of whatever, and like if you could create 20 chicken nuggets artificially versus 5 naturally, then they're gonna go for the 20, obviously. And as long as it's within some sort of regulation where, you know, this is not technically proven to give you cancer, but, you know, 40, 50 years down the line, you might get something. You know, it won't kill you right. It won't kill you right now, but, you know, it's just a slow, longer you know, that's basically it. So they skate that rule because, you know, a lot of these chemicals, they don't necessarily give you diseases, cancer or whatever, but eventually you get enough of it that causes enough inflammation in your body. Your body starts to create that sort of trigger effect. and you might end up with something here or there. You know, a lot of the, and you know what's interesting? The I guess you could call the standards of a lot of vital metrics have changed over the years, especially when it comes to like high blood pressure and what's considered hypotension and everything like that. You know, a couple years ago, 120 was considered the number to stage 1 hypotension. Now 140 is considered the number for stage 1 hypertension. And it's interesting because, you know, a lot of people were overly medicated for a lot of different things because the numbers were so low. Like most men, even at their healthiest, are going to be close to that 120 number, just standard. Like if you're maybe a muscular guy that has a lot, you weigh a lot, but it's a lot of muscle, you'd be surprised. Like your blood pressure is high. Certain races of people, blacks and Hispanics especially, have high blood pressure just fucking naturally coming out of the womb. You know, like,
that's why we're so passionate. That's why we're so passionate.
It's just how it is, you know. And I've seen some of the like thinnest women that I know have a blood pressure of 110, 115. So you mean to tell me I got 10 points between a 100-pound woman and a 200, 300-pound guy? Like that's 10 points between get the fuck out of here. Like it's very clear. But again, the numbers changed. You know, they changed. What did they change to? It was hypertension and something else. I forgot. But the point is, like, it's interesting how the foods have gotten worse. The overall health has gotten worse, and yet the bar for what's considered normal has risen. So it's kind of interesting how that works out.
Well, my theory is that the government is not going to be happy until we're all those fucking people from WALL-E sitting in our little lawn chairs that hover, and we just have this fucking Slurpee for every meal, and we're just reliant on machines to like bring us everywhere. We can't move, and if we do try to, it's like insanely hard. Like, I mean, that's essentially where we're going, because they keep shifting the goalpost on what's healthy, what you can have, what you should have. You know, and people are like convinced, like, oh, I shouldn't. That's too expensive. I shouldn't get that. Like, it is expensive, but the one thing that people don't do anymore, because I mean, it's difficult, there's no doubt about it, and it can be hard sometimes, is to meal prep. Like, you can buy cheaper ingredients and make like food at home for the whole week, and like you just take a day and make some food. And
so I'll be honest with you, Shags, I'm too lazy for that shit. I'm just gonna be real with you.
You and a lot of people, man.
I eat I eat fairly well. I try to eat fairly well, and I always get my exercise in. Like, you know, I have a gym in my basement that is fairly fleshed out. What I'm actually doing, since I'm expanding my studio, I think I'm gonna bring probably a bench and weights in here, just because I'm in here so much now. But the thing is, meal prepping for me, not only am I super lazy with that, to be honest with you, I just don't fucking like the way it tastes heated up. Like, I'm so picky with that shit. Like, when I don't know how people can eat rice that's like 7 days old, bro. Like people who, or 5 days old, like they put it in the fridge and they heat it up, and it's like, I just can't I need fresh rice. Maybe that's the Puerto Rican in me. I need fresh rice. I can't
I get it.
I can't have it.
I get it. It's like, at one point in my life, like, you know, in my early 20s, which would be considered the college years, though I never went to college, I ate like a college kid. Like, I'd buy like a whole bunch of like low price food that isn't really food, like, you know, obviously some top ramen noodles or some shit like that. I've built up some kind of like of an immune system, or like a digestive system that can withstand a lot of that shit. And then I don't know if she's still listening right now, but Amarada fucked me up and gave me some actual good food. Now I kind of don't like that shit anymore.
Nice.
I don't really eat like I bought a pack of like some of the better noodles, and I've only eaten like one of them, and that was like a week and a half ago. Usually I'd have finished that shit.
Dude, I had
like
homemade pasta and my life was ruined. I can't eat a fucking box rigatoni anymore. It's rough. My life is ruined. I'm like, fuck you, man. But just to be clear, like, just because I don't meal prep, like, I just cook, bro. Like, just it's not hard to eat healthy, man. Just fucking cook. Just dedicate 30 minutes to an hour a day between prepping, cooking, and whatnot. You know what I mean?
It's healthy,
and that's it,
to
man.
do that. You know,
Yeah.
it's good for your mind. You're unplugging.
Yeah.
You're
Just get
in
away.
touch with, yeah. No, it's definitely something that people should do. But listen, you guys, you need on the next Hypnocast, the next Saturday Night Hypnosis, you need to get this guy get the cash flowing for him. We need to get him a nice like Mexican auntie over there cooking for him every night. All right, like that's what needs to happen.
Are you kidding me, man? I would fucking love that.
Yeah.
I will love to hire a maid. Are you kidding? Like, or a fucking cook? But you
All
know,
right, so hear
my
me
grift
out,
isn't
right?
that high yet, unfortunately.
You'll
Hear
get
me
there.
out. Hear
I'm
me
sorry.
out. My childhood, or I guess you could say kind of like the first half of my life, I've spent in New Jersey, which is predominantly Black and Hispanic. And the Hispanic side was just primarily Puerto Rican, and then it was Dominican.
Only
We
in
had, like,
Bergen
some
County.
Colombian.
Everywhere else is white, dude. Come on now.
No, that was Halden. That was the first half of my childhood. But the second half of my childhood, and it was mostly like there was like bodegas everywhere, and getting like an empanada every fucking morning. I always got the beef.
Mhm.
I like chicken, but I like the beef more. Put some hot sauce in that thing. But like when I tell you, Puerto Rican people know how to hook some shit up, man.
Yep.
Look, man. I'm telling you, you gotta hit up one of those actual like bodegas, or even not even a bodega. You gotta go to a Puerto Rican restaurant, ran and like operated by Puerto Rican people. Beautiful.
The only
shit.
problem is Puerto Rican women. You look at them and they get pregnant. That's the issue.
Yeah. Well, they're very fertile.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you got to be careful around them bitches.
And you got to be careful because every single one of them has a gene in their body. I don't know if you're actually aware of this. I found this out in my early 20s. So yeah, all of them have a gene in their body called the abuela gene. And then what ends up happening is that it's suppressed for, usually most of their life. And then, but it just happens like that. Like they'll go to sleep hot and then they'll wake up abuela like overnight. I don't know why that's that case, but it just happens. So you got to remember, like every woman's different. Some of them, they get it in their late 30s. Some of them, they'll stay hot to the late 40s and maybe even early 50s. But then it's going to happen, man. Out of nowhere, the aprons, she's going to wake up with an apron on and it's just gray hair.
That's Japanese women. Like from
they
like
hit the wall at like 60 and it's
like
all at
as
once.
soon as they hit like when they hit their maturity, like they stay attractive well into like their like late 40s. Around the early 50s, it's like an overnight thing. They go from like super attractive to like Baba Yaga.
Oh, it's wild.
Yeah, they cut their hair short and they all look the exact same.
See, what J-Lo did was she paid to get that gene suppressed. Like that's what it is. That's how she's able to cheat for so long.
Yeah.
But you can't fight nature, man. That's just I guarantee you. Wait till you see J-Lo when she's like 60. It's gonna be like a totally different human being.
Yep.
Well, I just want to say real quick too. I don't object to what Shagsworth's first statement about Puerto Rican. I am totally okay with that kind of thing about Puerto Rican women. I am totally okay with that.
Oh, the crazy part?
No. The first, you just look at him. You just look at him and get pregnant.
Oh, look at him and they just become pregnant. There was ironically enough, me and my brothers, because I got 5 brothers. But like we lived next door to a Puerto Rican family. It was all girls. So, we hey Jay, what's going on?
Shout out to Drunk Review. We were just talking about that too. You see what I'm saying? It's a thing. It's been a thing since I was at like 300 subs, and it's still a thing now. I don't.
Good to know that Jay's Puerto Rican, but
Jay is Puerto Rican, yes.
But like, it's funny because those same girls that we grew up next to, like now they all have like at least 3 kids.
Of course, man.
Yeah.
And this is like not even a full, like, let me see. The last time I had a conversation with one of them was like back in like 2014 or something like that, about a decade or so ago. So that's kind of crazy.
Bro, if you fuck around with Puerto Rican women, you better get used to dodging bullets, bro, because it's you are Neo up in that vagina trying desperately not to get her pregnant. Like it's good luck with that. You're gonna
imagine if she's got brothers, like you watch out for the brothers too. They'll fucking
fuck the brothers. They ain't doing anything. They're too busy banging fucking the other Puerto Rican girls. They don't give a fuck. They only care if you do something wild, like if you hit her, if you cheat on her, and they know about it or whatever.
Yeah,
but they don't give a fuck, man. And if you just get on their level, play video games with them, they're your best friends now. They don't care.
Basically. Although there was the one that stole my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. and it swore up and down. He was like,
See, that's
no,
violence.
Yeah, that's violence. But motherfucker said, no, I mark my cards the same way. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? I'm the only one that does that shit in this whole school.
That's definitely violence for sure. But yeah, man, you got to watch that Bola Gene. That shit is strong. It will hit you before you know it. You'll go to sleep next to a hottie, and then you're going to wake up one day and be like, wow, what the fuck is going on?
The Abuela
you know,
Gene.
next thing you know, you got fucking, you got, what is that called? You got wallpaper on your walls in the kitchen.
Oh, dude, no.
You got the fucking, you got Santa Maria somewhere in the fucking.
You got like 50, you got 50 candles of Santa Maria somewhere.
Yeah, you got candles everywhere. You got the tablecloths that have flowers on it and shit.
She said,
you got the old wooden chairs. Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. But hey, one thing though, that Abuela Gene does come with a benefit. You will be well fed. You will be you'll be well taken care of. I mean, it's a trade-off. Yep. You ain't gonna be slanging and banging, but you're gonna be well taken care of for sure.
And for some reason, the music's always good.
The music will change for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
It'll go from what is it, WAP to like, I don't know, some fucking like salsa, like some can, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, basically
you'll have some shit like that. Yep.
Like, I'm trying to remember the name.
Sonia's mad in the chat because she knows it's true. She knows how Abuela Gene is ticking.
Yeah. It's not only that though. Even after that, you're still getting it. Like that never stops on them either. Like
yeah, no, you're still getting it.
Oh yeah,
sure.
like they
it just goes to like once a week.
You alone
instead of
getting it. J-Lo getting it. Like you can't brag about it anymore.
No.
You know.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it depends. Like if she hits the wall at like 50, 60, I mean. You're not really all that much hot stuff at that point anymore either, Bubba.
I don't think Ben Affleck's bragging though.
Yeah, I think men don't want to admit to themselves that when they hit 50 plus, they you know, you're not exactly slanging and banging yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Look at RFK Jr. though. That guy's a fucking monster.
He's jacked. A monster. Yeah. I mean, you can still be jacked.
You could have said Graham Nolan.
I mean, if you can afford fucking like what is it, testosterone replacement?
Yep, massive amounts of testosterone.
Like the who's
kind of body at that age.
What's his name got it? Fucking Jeff Bezos.
I thought you were about to say liver.
Did he really?
Yeah, he does look like a meathead. Like that just where.
Oh, he got jacked out of nowhere. Like where the fuck did that? Like he grew up in reverse. Like he got older and jacked when younger. He was younger and nothing. That's
true. It's
weird.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, that's what it is, man.
It's gonna be fun seeing Primal King turn into like an empty ball sack though. That's whatever his name was.
I can't wait to see him older. Liver King?
Yeah, Liver King.
Dude, I still get his ads on X when I'm scrolling through there every once in a while. At least I was a while back, and I just laugh every time because there was a community note below the ad for the longest fucking time, dude.
Listen, I have seen like I'm sure you guys have seen, like I have seen extremely overweight people, I've seen drug addicts, I've seen all kinds of different people, right? If you want to know what it looks like to see a heart struggling, just look at Liver King.
Yeah.
Like his body, there's no fucking way. You could tell in his face and in the way his skin color is, and like that is the prime example of a heart struggling. I would say like the 400-pound fatty stands a better chance at survival than Liver King does at this point. I mean, the guy is literally falling apart. And don't get me wrong, his physique before was insane. But the point is, like, bro, at what cost? You know what I mean? It's kind of like wrestlers. Wrestlers die young, very young, early. And it's always at what cost? Is because, man, they put their bodies through hell. And internally, they're dying on the inside, too, just with the amount of roids a lot of them took. Nonstop fucking aggressive.
Screwed over. Like as active as that establishment, that industry is, they get screwed over super hard because, like, their healthcare, whatever, their healthcare plans and shit like that, they don't actually take effect until they're like 65, and most of them die far before that.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
It's crazy because like there's this like idea, this picture of health that I think we've been fed for a long time, that like it's this like ripped up, like, you know, just totally like no fat on the body, like that's really hard to attain. Like people don't realize like that's extreme amounts of working out. It's extreme amounts of dieting. Like you're dehydrated a lot of times, like when you look like that. And people think that like it's not sustainable for the normal person to look like that. Like
you're
I hate to
purposely
tell you, but-
dehydrated before shows, aren't you? Like when you're that ripped, like when you, I think the
Oh
bodybuilders
yeah,
they
do the bodybuilders.
they don't drink water, right?
Yeah, Mr. H talked about that when he was getting ready for his bodybuilding competition, how hard it is on your body because they can
Crazy,
basically dehydrate themselves. That's how you get those epic vein pops and all those shots, those competitions, because they're so dehydrated.
Yeah, you can't. You gotta think about what it's doing internally. You know what I mean? Yeah, you might look like a fucking Greek god on the outside. That's fantastic. But like Shags was saying, on the long term, like your body is an insane machine, and it's designed to try to keep you alive as long as it possibly can. So yeah, like you could probably do some shit like that for a few days, maybe even a month or so, just completely just wrecking your shit to try to be at maximum physique. But you're not going to be able to do this for your entire life. You know what I mean? Eventually you're going to lose that muscle mass at some point. You know, you have to. Your body, it takes a lot for your heart to sustain that level of muscle. And then if you're throwing in dehydration on top of that too, now you're extra fucked. It's just too much, man. You could have don't get me wrong, you can have a nice physique, have it for the rest of your life, but you're not going to be fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger jacked. You know, it's just not possible. Look what happened to him.
Yeah, and you need to. I mean, people just need the realistic part of it is that like you want to be strong, you want to be fit, but you need to take care of yourself. You need King Deplorable said it, like your body needs fat, just not 150 pounds of extra fat.
Yeah.
And like honestly, like dad bod is like probably the most normal like you could be. Like you said, go in, lift weights, get some cardio in, get some sunshine, eat protein. Like that's what your body needs. It doesn't, and really at the end of the day, it's a balance of everything. You want to eat a bunch of crap one day? Cool. But then the next day, don't eat a bunch of crap, and then drink water and then stay hydrated. Everyone knows that soda's bad. Don't drink as much fucking soda. It's just, we all know the answers. You're never going to be, like you said, that Greek god physique. Some of us will get there, but it's not a sustainable thing. It's not going to prolong your life. You're better off.
No, it's going to shorten it. Yeah.
Right. You're better off just eating well and looking like having a modest physique and like being able to run a mile without stopping. And
that's not to discourage anybody from actually going that extra mile if they want to. Go that extra mile if you so choose to. You do what you want with your body.
Exactly.
However, there is a limit to how things function, right? Like there's a balance. There's some people that live like fucking Stan Lee was not a bodybuilder. That nigga lived to like what 95 or some shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he was always comfortable, right? I would imagine if he was super stressed, he had methods and abilities to de-stress himself. Obviously, he was very wealthy, so that's a plus. And it affords you certain manners of things that will de-stress you. But it's amazing. Whenever I have these conversations with people, I always say hydration is so overlooked by so many people. It's ridiculous. Like you would be surprised how many issues the average person can solve that they're experiencing in their life. Maybe you got headaches often. Maybe, I don't know, you're getting eczema rashes, maybe whatever. It doesn't matter. Like you would be fucking surprised how many issues can be solved by just drinking water. and drinking the right amount of water every day, which don't get me wrong, man, it could get nauseating. Like I force myself to drink that recommended amount every single day. I think it's 3.5 liters for men or something like that. But it is ridiculous just the difference between fully hydrated and I drink 1 glass of water a day kind of person. I might drink 3 sodas and 1 glass of water. That you're not hydrated. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people think that they're counteracting it too. A lot of people who drink think that way. They drink that, I'm drinking alcohol, but don't worry, I'm drinking water too. I'm totally hydrated. No, you're not. Stop. Like you're still fucked up. Same thing.
Dehydrated in 10 hours.
Same thing with soda to a lesser extent. Yeah, soda's hydrating to a very minimal effect, but doesn't mean you're going to drink 6 of them. 1 glass of water is more hydrating than 6 sodas.
There's a prime example. My mom was an army in the medic, or she was a medic in the army, and she was responsible for when they go out. Yeah, when they go out there and when they go out to the field, she was responsible for making sure everybody's health was good and all that kind of stuff. Well, they've given all these guys these camel packs. These dumbasses filled them up with tea and Kool-Aid. And they were like, well, it's got water in it. And they wondered why they were all passing out in the field. They had to call the entire mission because so many of these dumbasses had done this. And they were all dehydrated and passing out in the damn field.
It's even worse if you live somewhere that's super hot.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you're playing the lack of hydration game and you live somewhere that's fucking hot, like 90 degrees, and you're stupid. Like you're really risking it. You're risking it hard.
That's what it is.
Because I'm telling you, man, I noticed like going outside and it because I live in cold and hot, so like going outside and it's fucking like 89 degrees. I feel like the world's burning. Like, holy shit! I gotta immediately go for water like quick. And it's true, man. Like hydration is such a big thing. People
overregulated, so you're not out there overheating and shit like that. I spent the year in the desert before. It was great.
I spent every day in the desert, y'all. Not the desert you're talking about, but
sounds fun.
Oh, also the other thing about camelbacks that a lot of these morons don't realize is the moment you put not any other liquid aside from water in that thing, you ruin it. You got to get another one because it's not made of the kind of material that handles more than just water. It's supposed to handle just water, so your shit's gonna mold quickly. It's gonna start to deteriorate quickly. And all that other extra stuff.
Yep. Well, we hit 3 hours. We did fucking awesome tonight, guys. Great episode. Great time. Hypnotic, thanks for joining us tonight, dude. It was great to finally get you on, and we enjoyed your company. Chat, you guys were epic tonight. Thank you for sharing your community with us and sending people over here. So many good people, so many awesome gifts and super chats. Thank you guys so much for those. It is like, as every person here will tell you, your donations are what keeps us going. I
won't tell you that. I'll let you know it right now. I want to take this bitch off the fucking rails. It ain't my channel though.
But yeah, let's go around the horn real quick. Let's tell everyone what we got coming up. Hypnotic, what do you got coming up? Let's talk about what do you have.
I mean, typical stuff, man. Like I don't do anything special. Just stream every single day. 9 p.m. Eastern, Hypnocast. And then this Saturday Night Hypnosis, I'm gonna have Savvy on there. So that'll be fun.
Cool people.
to experience that. And that's basically it, man. Follow my channel if you want to see more of that. Definitely follow my Twitter if you want to see roasting on a daily. That's also very fun. And that's it. That's all I got, man. Hypnocast every day and Saturday Night Hypnosis on Saturday. That's it.
Sick. Jesse, what do you got, bud?
Potentially a morning stream tomorrow at 11 a.m. for the morning prep. My mother's in town right now, so we're gonna gotta play that by ear depending on what she's got going on and when she wakes up. So I might end up out at the beach all day again tomorrow. We'll have to see what happens. But other than that, come subscribe to the new Common Nerds channel if you haven't already. We just got our official notification today that we're monetized again over there. So we'll be doing a celebratory live stream for my birthday next week on May 16th on Thursday. So we're not gonna do like any like crazy like late night stream or anything like that. What we will do is just, instead of doing the morning prep, we'll probably just start out doing a regular stream that day and just kind of go on and do whatever we've got and have special guests on throughout the entire time and maybe play some video games or whatever. But yeah, that should be a good time. So definitely come check out the new channel and then follow me on Rumble. That's the best place to find me. I live stream there 5 days a week, 11 a.m. Monday through Friday for the morning prep. Tomorrow, Friday night, I've got Comic Shop Talk. Saturday night's Vet Talking. Sunday night is the Bible study. We're going through 2 Samuel right now, talking about a lot of the different stories of David. And then Sunday nights, now this Sunday night, this probably won't happen because it's Mother's Day. But normally Sunday nights at 6 p.m. If any of you guys out there are Whovians, Mr. Grant Gregory, who was here earlier, and our dear sweet Serenity Two Witches, aka Sunker Maidens, goes over there on Sunday nights and reviews When Who Was Good. So we're currently just started the 4th season of David Tennant's run. Well, it's the 4th season in general, but it's David's Tennant's run. It's actually the last season of his run. So we're currently working our way through that, and we're also watching some Torchwood along the way as well. So it's a really good time over there. We're having a blast with all that. We're introducing a lot of new people to the Whoverse, and it'll be great. But don't forget, next week, May 16th, the big thing. Obviously, everybody on the panel is obviously invited because it's just going to be a big guests and members stream and stuff like that, and come in and everybody can hang out and celebrate the fact that we're monetized again, boys and girls. That's twice now. Fuck you, Julian. Kiss my ass, Director X. Fuck that bitch. So yeah, we're back at it. So I appreciate you guys. Hypnotic. Oh, dude, you and I have been talking for a while, back and forth on every occasion, and on occasion, and I appreciate it, dude. Love to see how much you've grown and how well you're going, man. It's been fucking awesome.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Future Boy over here in chat yelling at me. It's like, oh, you sound bored. No, I've been streaming for 5 hours, man. I also suck at selling myself. So like that's that. You know, I'm not as good as like some people like Alyssa Mercante, but still, like I can sell, you know, to a point. But I appreciate it. Thank you, Common Nerd, man. That was awesome.
Hey, anytime, brother. Anytime, man.
All right, Sheep, what do you got, man?
I am drawing a manga. It's called Fandemonium. You go to fandemonium.locals.com. You can read the prologue. I have been procrastinating, even though I said I shouldn't be, and I still do it because I'm stupid like that. But I'm still hammering out chapter 1, and I hope to have it done really soon. I'm going to keep saying that until it's done. I'm going to do the same thing with chapter 2. Aside from that, I'm selling Ripperverse and Ripperverse accessories. We'll be at Denver, Fan Expo Denver in July. It's going to be July 4th, the Independence Day weekend. And aside from that, I will also be on Amarada streams. I'll be in the I think we're doing D&D this weekend.
Nice.
So 3.5. If y'all want to go ahead and listen to us basically figure out what the hell we're doing in D&D, go ahead and do that. Go to Horror Amarata channel on YouTube. Also, go to her other channel, The Abysmal Critic, where she's doing videos daily. And I've cut into her time being here. I'm sure she'll forgive me for it. Nonetheless, I think that's all my time. Go follow me on Twitter, where I shit talk all the time. And I don't thank anybody for getting me to 2,000 followers, so I appreciate it nonetheless.
We did have this one little video from one of the memers.
Oh, god damn it, no.
Play it.
Please don't start. Oh, what the hell is this? Who does this shit?
That was McCracken.
Of course it would be Release McCracken. Release the McCracken, of course.
Release the McCracken. Yeah, so and for me, guys, you guys know we're doing interviews. We've done a lot recently. I took a little break a week from tomorrow. I got a really good one. I'm not going to reveal who it is quite yet. We'll talk about it next week. But
it's Chrissy Mayer.
Yeah, I wish. No, it's someone a little bit more contentious than that. But rest assured,
it's Melanie Mack.
I wish, man. I wouldn't tell you even if you guessed. Let's put it that way.
It's his wife.
We got a really great. No, but I think my mom's going to come on and do an episode. But yeah, a week from Thursday, a brand new Ready Set Shag is going to be coming out. And then
it's DSP. Now, guys.
But yeah, thank you, Hypnotic. Thank you, Common Nerd. Thank you, No Green Rocks. Thank you, Sheep. Thank you, Mr. Grant Gregory. Thank you, everybody who was here tonight. Thank you for all of the amazing gifts and the super chats. It's been so much fun as usual. Wednesday nights are awesome. I gotta head to bed now. We'll have Shagcast that's going to be happening next week. I took a break this week to play some video games, but Shagcast is returning next Tuesday, and Midweek Hump on Wednesday, and then a great interview on Thursday. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channels. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the Midweek Hump channel. And that's it. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace out.
Later.